I'm not supposed to smoke in my building, so.
They don't let you smoke weed in your building? What kind of fucking
because
building?
It's legal.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
We can't do things that are legal
But you
anymore.
can smoke cigarettes in your building, right?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, you have a smoke-free building.
Yeah.
Health conscious. Well, I get that kind of. If you say no cigarettes, you kind of have to say no weed too.
But cigarette smoke stays.
Yeah.
Like that gets in the walls and in the fabrics and all that stuff. Like the weed just kind of.
For us.
Right.
But I think other people that don't smoke weed, they smell it.
Yeah, and those
like,
people need to get out of California. I mean, you smell it everywhere you go now. I'm so numb to it.
Everywhere.
It makes me laugh when I can see a tourist. They're just like, oh. And I'm
it's so funny. Yeah. It's so funny. My wife kind of gets that way, and she smokes weed. It's funny. But like when we're with the kids, if we go somewhere, she's like, oh, lovely. Like she'll smell it. Like women are so funny. Like when they have kids, all of a sudden they get like real protective of everything. They want to. That's where conservative
mama bear
people. Yep. They want to protect that den. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Lovely. Out in public. Like I was doing it an hour ago.
Yeah. It always makes me laugh when it's in the morning and you're like, shit, it's like 9 a.m. and someone's just smoking a blunt outside of brunch.
Well, yoga, there's this one dude that I go to yoga with, this old fella, and he has a van, and he parks his van right next to the yoga place, and he gets fucking blasted.
Just hot box?
Blasted. It's like a Cheech and Chong movie. He opens up that van and climbs into yoga class. You could see him just whacked out in class sometimes, too.
Hot box yoga?
Yeah, you could see him in class just like he's in the middle of doing his yoga, he's like freaking out, like, whoa.
I saw a guy in the steam room at the gym doing that. He was just like, ugh. And I was like, should I call someone? Yeah.
Well, he could be on anything. The steam room at the gym is a dangerous area. Like people are half naked and they get weird.
Yeah. That steam makes you do crazy things. I just close my eyes and just meditate and try not to pay attention to the sounds going on.
Also, like everybody, just like you're just sitting there, right? So people get anxious. They get antsy just sitting there.
And then you get like those really aggressive breathers who are just like, oh, and you're like, was that a climax? What was that?
That's annoying.
Oh, by the way, hold on before I get. So
Speaking
5 years ago,
Oh.
speaking of climax, 5 years ago I came and did your podcast. When
Was it that long ago?
It was 5 years ago. Yeah,
That's crazy.
It was up and coming.
God damn, it takes a long time
out of a tool shed.
Yeah, we were not far from
here. We are. So
what do you got?
That was last Valentine's Day. So I feel
sweetie.
like I got you some Valentine's Day candy.
Oh,
because I feel like we have a running theme here. So
was it Valentine's Day last time?
Yeah.
Too? No shit.
It was. So this is the week of Valentine's. So I get it.
To Joe from Justin.
Yep.
So sweet.
You know, you need more.
These
more
are like
candy in your life.
Weird candies, right? Because they only sell them because they're in the heart shape.
Yeah.
Right? If they were stars, people are like, what the fuck kind of bullshit candy is that?
Yeah,
But
and they're
it's
probably
hearts.
filled with cyanide and horrible things for your body.
I don't think so.
So enjoy.
I don't think so because they want to sell more.
Yeah. Just a good old-fashioned
Dude, did you
meth.
see that fucking video
Which one?
of China where they're spraying disinfectant in the streets
No.
to try to kill the coronavirus? Jamie, it's on my... is that bullshit?
But they do that
Some
shit
of
in
them are,
Arkansas.
yeah.
Some of it's bullshit?
Some of them are real, but some of them I think are not accurate videos.
I don't know. I've
I've
seen it on a couple different spots
seen
online.
it too. I've seen various ones. Some
Let's
of them look a
pretend
little more
we're
egregious.
ignorant and we don't know any better. But
Right.
watch the video because it's fucking bonkers, man. They're driving through the streets, spraying everything at street level.
The thing I saw going around before, which is they were spraying with drones. They were using drones to actually do it. And they're
I
like
didn't
flying
see that.
around people. And
It
like,
begins.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
But
Well,
see, they do that in
dude.
the South with mosquitoes.
Right.
yes.
So it's kind of like that.
fucking terrible for you too. By
Oh,
the
of
way,
course.
If you ever breathe that shit in, if it kills mosquitoes, it'll kill you too.
Absolutely.
That fucking stuff is awful.
All of
man.
our relatives were like, go play outside. We're like, is this safe? And they're like, yeah. It's just off.
Dude, you know, let's watch this real quick.
gotta
But then,
find it.
fine. It's on my Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Also, along with my man Eddie Izzard, is running 28 marathons in 28 days in 28 countries,
Good
all
God.
through the month of February.
God.
All in drag.
I have socks on my floor.
So look at this. Look how crazy this is.
Yeah,
man.
this is nuts.
These fucking people, they're spraying shit out of cars. They're walking down the streets spraying buildings. It's
That's-
all disinfectant. Apparently, this coronavirus, they say, can live outside of a host for 3 days. So if you have like coronavirus on your hand, you touch a railing, that shit will exist outside of your body for 3 days, which is very unusual.
That's like some parasite shit.
Well, this is what these doctors have been saying forever.
The one that died?
That's one of
Yep.
them. But the doctors that study it at the CDC, Duncan and I went to the CDC down in Galveston, I think it is, and we were talking with these infectious disease experts, and we were all conspiracy theory like. We were like, we were worried about like man-made viruses, and this. He goes, listen, you don't have to worry about man-made viruses. He goes, these motherfuckers are making them. They're
mutating.
He didn't use the term motherfucker.
Well, right. Well, he wanted to.
Probably did. But he was saying they make themselves, and they happen all the time, and we barely can keep up with them, and it just takes one big giant one, like the Spanish flu. The crazy thing is Spanish flu was 1920,
Yeah.
and this is 2020. So like
Interesting.
every 100 years.
Yeah, and I want to say before that was what, like yellow fever or something?
There's probably some shit in the 1820s.
Yeah, like down in the South, like the Carolinas and
Find out
Georgia.
what was the pandemic in the 18... Oh, here's the drones.
Jesus.
Army of drones deployed across China to dispense disinfectant. See, here's why I call that bullshit on that. How much fucking disinfectant can they carry in that little bullshit ass drone? That ain't gonna kill. You know what I mean? There's so little. That ain't gonna kill.
I can go refill.
And I love how it says
Right.
army of drones. There's like 3.
It's a bullshit ass army.
Calm down.
The thing, them driving through the streets freaked me out more than anything.
Yeah, that's intense.
It is intense.
That's
Imagine
just like a fog.
Oh, the other thing too that which was scary. I think it was real. There was a drone that followed a woman out of her house. She didn't have a mask on, and it was like, "Ma'am, you don't have a mask. Please
No.
go home. Go home. You don't have." And it followed her home.
in China.
Yeah, like that. I can't translate, so I don't know if what it was saying was there. Someone just made a video to be scary, but
This shit really is like a movie
It is. It's totally a movie.
because everyone's got to be locked down in their houses. They
Right.
say kids are starving to death because they're locked in their houses and their parents are in the hospital.
They just had like another. I think I got a notification last night that said there was like a guy in San Diego that's being treated. And I'm like, God,
Yeah, it's just a matter of time.
just let me do the Rogan podcast before I get coronavirus.
You're here, and
Too late.
Neither of us have it. I think they say you're supposed to wash your hands a lot, but that was before they realized that it's transmitted through the air. So I don't think that helps. What's going on? This is the lady. This drone is speaking to you.
Could you imagine? She has no idea what's going on. She's so
You
high.
shouldn't walk without wearing a mask. You better be home. Don't forget to wash your hands.
She's got blue hair.
Christ.
see, this
Yeah,
could also be someone fucking around to make a scary video,
maybe.
but also could be real.
No, a drone is. It could be real.
I don't know.
Why
That's
did you come outside
terrifying.
without a mask?
The
Very
snow will
strange.
melt itself in a few months. What?
A few months.
Is that a haiku? What is this?
Stay at home with food and drinks. Why do you always come outside? You could sort. This might be bullshit, but it might be real. I'm not feeling good about it. It scares me, man.
It is.
It's like these things absolutely can wipe out millions and millions of people before they can get a handle on it.
I had it. I was on a plane a couple weeks ago flying from New Orleans back here, and I had this Viking woman behind me just open mouth coughing, and I was like, first of all, no.
Yeah.
Second of all, I had to turn around and say, hey, can you please cover your mouth? And I had to do that to an adult woman, and it made me feel weird.
Some people are just fucking selfish.
Just on a plane.
Some people, they just don't care. They're just selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't even care that other people feel uncomfortable. They're just like, I have to cough.
Yeah, and you're going to all experience it.
Yeah. For some people, if they're sick, they want you to be sick. They're not happy.
Malicious.
Fucking
And
assholes.
malignant.
Assholes. Mm-hmm. I'm worried.
Don't be.
You know what I've been worried about a lot about lately is glyphosate. I've been reading into glyphosate.
Same. What is that? You can't just glyphosate me. What is that?
Roundup. It's a chemical that they use for a pesticide for agriculture. And I was reading this whole thing about glyphosate and how toxic it is, and how many people have gotten cancer from glyphosate, and how often they use glyphosate on vegetables.
Yeah.
I'm like, motherfucker.
That's why you have to wash your vegetables.
I don't think you want.
Yeah, it does. It's all in there anyways.
Here it is. As many as 85,000 glyphosate cancer lawsuits, significantly closer to settlement after federal trial suspended. Yeah, there's a lot of motherfuckers that got cancer from this shit.
That's the Roundup. That's the
Roundup.
the weed
exactly
thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kills your weeds.
I think it kills pesticides. It's weed and what does it say there? Scroll down. Scroll back up there. No, the actual image of the oh god damn it, these pop-ups. What does it say? It says weed and grass killer. Okay, so it's not a pesticide. It's just for weeds.
Yeah.
But I bet it kills pests too.
Oh, it kills everything.
But they apparently a lot of people that are gardeners and that are working on golf courses apparently get it a lot because you know they spray that shit everywhere because they want everything to just be grass.
But does it leave like a brown spot? Or?
No, I don't know how the fuck it kills the weeds and doesn't kill the grass.
Yeah, that is bizarre.
I'm Googling too that there's other stories that are going around, but
EPA reaffirms that glyphosate does not cause cancer. Don't worry, folks. Just drink it. There was a guy. Remember that?
Drink it.
There was a guy at a press conference. He was saying, I could drink this glass of glyphosate and it wouldn't do me any harm. Some guy goes, drink it.
And he didn't.
He didn't drink it.
Of course not.
Of course he didn't drink it. Yeah, he's full of shit.
Talk the talk.
Yeah, talk is cheap, you fuck. That glyphosate stuff. It's like, look, weeds are supposed to be there, man. They're supposed to grow along with everything else. That's how it's supposed to work. You can't decide what shit grows. You're supposed to pluck those weeds.
That's what I was going to say. Just pull them out.
Yeah, you fucking lazy bitch.
Thank God.
But if you have a garden, you can pluck your weeds. But if you have a gigantic monocrop agriculture farm that's 6,000 acres of corn or alfalfa or some shit, you can't really...
Glyphosate or pluck it.
Pluck it. You gotta spray that bitch. I don't know, man. Whenever something happens like this coronavirus thing, I get worried about all kinds of stuff. I start worrying about all kinds of weird fucking toxins and chemicals. And, Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, that's what I think about that all the time. Like,
do you?
I do. Well, like I grew up in the South, so it's like I remember like crop dusters like flying over, and I remember
to kill mosquitoes, right?
Yeah, well, the mosquitoes, and then the actual like planes that would come over and just dump everything. And then I look up, and then I start thinking about chemtrails, and this is just a Tuesday, But I think about like that shit, like when it rains, and then that stuff gets into the water supply, and then you're just like, oh, I got a Brita filter, but is it really?
There's another yoga guy that I know that teaches yoga, and he didn't know that you're not supposed to swim in the ocean right after the rain.
What?
In Los Angeles, apparently, it's super dangerous to get in that ocean. Yeah, because all the runoff. Because the way LA's system is, the LA River and all that jazz, which is sort of a fake river.
It's not even a river at all.
But it's perfect for LA. Calling the LA River the LA River, it is perfect when you look at it. You're like, oh yeah, it's fake. It's perfect.
It's literally just a concrete stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a fucking gross drainage.
Yeah.
It's just enormous. Well, when that bitch goes down into the ocean, it carries with it all the garbage, all the chemicals, oil from the streets, all that stuff. Needles.
Yeah.
And it's all in the water. And so when you go surfing right after that, you get really fucking sick. And he was telling me he got deathly ill because he just didn't know any better. He was just out there, and he's from Argentina, I guess, where it's not as much of an issue there. And he was in that water, and he got fucked up. He said he was a wreck for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, that'll knock you out.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're, that's just gross. Just sewage stew.
Yeah, right?
Just floating around in it.
It's just weird that they decided to make the LA River like that. Like, I've never seen anything like that. Look at the LA River.
That's after a big
That was this
storm.
year?
No, that was last year.
A year ago.
January 19th. Yeah. Okay. Look at that motherfucker. Ugh. Just all condoms and poop.
I'm listening.
And fucking gonorrhea.
Well, that's what they did with the reservoir. Don't they drain? They had to drain it because
it was filled with shit.
It's filled with shit and bodies and cars and stuff. It's like, ugh.
Well, they say so many people are on antidepressants and SSRIs and all that jazz that the water supply has a certain amount of it in it because people flush. And they flush, and apparently some of the water that we use is actually recycled. They take your piss water and they turn it around. Did you know that?
Nope, but now I do.
Yeah, I don't know if it's everywhere.
Drink and
some
pee.
places, you're basically drinking recycled piss water. Yeah. Yummy.
Essentia.
Have you ever seen that giant tube? It's basically an aqueduct, but it's like a big pipe that's like hundreds of miles long. That's how we get our water here.
Yeah, I've actually seen it in person.
Yeah, someone walked it, I think, recently. There's a video I saw, but
I've seen it in person. It goes through. I think it goes through Tejon Ranch.
Maybe it might. Yeah,
it's an enormous pipe. Yeah.
So what have we learned Valentine's Day? Everything's trash.
Is today Valentine's Day?
No, it's Friday.
Oh, this Friday.
I think, yeah.
People are just not supposed to live that stacked on top of each other like that. We're supposed to live in small villages in the woods with just enough food.
I'm down for that. I want a tiny home.
Do you?
Yeah.
You want one of them little mobile
Yeah, a little tiny home in the woods.
Really?
Ugh, with a fire pit out front.
Could you survive in the woods?
Probably not, but I have a lesbian friend. Yeah. Her name's Denise.
Lesbian friends are good.
Yeah.
The ones with those Patagonia vests.
Oh, yeah. Every carabiner. She's on survival mode 24/7. We have earthquake drills every day. Yeah.
Really?
Not really.
Does she stay in your building? Is she in?
She's in the building, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's my alpha.
Does she keep food?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Canned preserves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Storage.
You know you're going deep when you have that fucking preacher food. You know that stuff like that Jim Baker was selling?
Oh, God.
Did you ever see that?
It makes sense, but was it just like, it's almost like Spam, but can live for...
It's like buckets of this gruel.
Bucket gruel.
But he, in Jim Baker's show, he used it as like the base of a like a table. Like he's like, you could use it underneath your table. This is how you could keep like your kitchen table. And he's got like these stacks of this stuff, and then they were sitting on it. Like you could use it as a stool. Like so, like your house is filled with like survivor food.
Yeah.
So in case the shit goes down, it's everywhere in your house. You just have to open up one of these buckets. Did you ever see that video, Jamie?
Bucket gruel.
There's that smash cut video of
Right. Who made the smash cut?
Vic Berger did.
That's right. Yeah, it's Vic Berger smash cut's fucking hilarious because Vic Berger makes a bunch of very funny internet videos as it is, but as you're watching Jim Baker, and this is the same Jim Baker from the old days when Jessica Hahn and he had an affair. Mm-hmm. See, all this stuff is the shit he's selling. This is stacked. Look, he's got it all up the stairs and shit.
This is
it's stacks of survival food.
You told me to do this.
Look at this.
They got shovels.
Shovel.
By the way, get a shovel. These are foldable shovels. It'll go in your backpack. This is how you dig
Jim Baker, you ain't wearing a fucking backpack.
Yeah. Look at these guys. They're like, really?
So he was banging Jessica Hahn, and then Sam Kinison wound up banging Jessica Hahn. And then, look, he's just digging in there and eating it. Look, you can eat it.
He's like, this is so good.
He's eating it handfuls. What is that he's eating? It's coming out of his mouth into the bucket. Oh, Jesus Christ, Jim.
Literally.
He looks weird.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like the same guy.
That's Tammy Faye's ex-husband. Yeah.
She's dead now.
Yeah. Well, isn't he too?
She died from Diet Coke.
Well, I think she had some of that new bulk sampler. She died from Diet Coke?
I think they said she drank like 100 cans of Diet Coke a day, and she got brain cancer.
Southern people love that.
Yeah, look at that. That's what it looks like when it's cooked. That will keep you alive, Justin Martindale. Look at that. Imagine eating that. And you're fucking mixing all that together. Like, what's in there?
Diarrhea. That's definitely what's in there. Diarrhea and nacho cheese.
That's like queso from Texas.
How dare you, sir?
Real cheesy queso. Mm-hmm. Real fluid. Like
I miss Texas queso.
Yeah, I was just there.
It's good.
I was just in Houston.
Were you? So was I.
Yeah. Where you when?
Yeah, I was there 2 weeks ago.
I was there 2 days ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was there Saturday night for the UFC. Friday and Saturday.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But that
kick. Oh, that was a good kick.
Which one?
The I don't know their names. The girl did that round off kick to the other one.
Oh, that was a couple months ago.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, that's Valentina Shevchenko.
I'm trying.
Yeah, she fought this weekend.
I'm gonna get called a fag in all the comments now.
Oh, how dare
It's okay.
they.
It's the only reason I'm here.
What is that cheese stuff though? That cheese that it's like watery. It's not really cheese. What do they call it?
Government cheese.
No. It's like you could squirch it.
Squirch it?
You know, you like
Easy cheese.
yeah, but it's like
Cheese Whiz.
Is it Cheese Whiz? Is that what it is?
The one in the tube?
It depends on which company you're buying from.
I don't think I'm thinking about that though. There's a type of like liquidy cheese that people would put on nachos and stuff like that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't. It's nacho cheese. I've never
it's
known
melted.
it called anything
Yeah,
else.
it's like, but it's like
runny.
liquidy cheese. But that's what that Jim Baker gruel looks like. God. That he was serving up people. But that's a big thing with preachers, right? They always want to prepare you for the apocalypse with food.
Yeah, because they're causing it.
Yeah, well.
Like that's what they do.
Well, it's like I don't want to be a prepper, but I think you probably should have some food at your house. You should be ready for a couple of weeks.
I know.
Should be ready for a couple of weeks. And they have these things where you fill your bathtub up it's like a bladder that you put in your bathtub, and then you fill your bathtub up with water, so you always have water. Because if the shit goes down, if it really lasts
Have
for a
drinking
couple
water.
weeks, you're gonna need some water.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's really gonna make sense.
I just have bags of boxed wine in my fridge. That's all.
That'll
I got.
help.
I'm ready to go.
Listen, people used to live off wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to call it prevent traveler's disease because
Just
they
kill
would-
everything.
Because if you get water from a lake, right, like that water's got all kinds of garbage in it, right? Like if you get water from a lake, you're drinking a bunch of different bacteria and parasites and different. I mean, even if it's a clear lake, you're really not supposed to drink the water unless you're above a certain altitude. Like I was in Alaska and I was with these guys and we were hunting and they told us we could drink this water because above 8,000 feet or whatever, beavers don't live. That's what you have to worry about. You have to worry about beaver
course they
fever. They call it beaver fever. It's Giardia. It's a different beaver fever than guys get at clubs. It's a different beaver fever.
Or Denise, yeah.
Or Denise. she get that beaver fever.
Always.
Just to polish up her Patagonia jacket. Put on her best patchouli. A little bit behind the ears will do you.
A little musk.
Yeah.
God.
Why is it that lesbians have never been able to form a proper neighborhood, but gay guys can do it in almost every town?
I feel like gay guys push the lesbians out.
You think so?
But lesbians are smarter because they'll form their own tribe.
Yeah, but they never develop like Boys Town is legendary, right? It's like it is. It's a gay 5 blocks of gay, right?
I call it home.
That's your spot. Yeah. But if you think about it, there's no lesbian equivalent anywhere on Earth that I know of. Is there like a legitimate lesbian community where it's only lesbians and they get together and do lesbian things and wear cowboy hats and G-strings and shit?
They have their own. I mean, that's the thing. I feel like guys are more, they want to be in charge more, where lesbians can kind of just form their own little side neighborhoods. They don't need the credit. You know what I mean?
But do they?
No. I feel
but
like
people would know.
There's
If they
a-
had a legit lesbian neighborhood like Girls Town, people would know.
But would you want to go to Girls Town?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Why?
Guys, I think that's the problem.
That's the thing.
I think
We're
guys-
going to go to Girls Town. It's
Guys
like,
go there and they ruin it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an
Exactly.
ally. And they move
Yeah.
next door and they just fucking they act like, can I help you with your trash?
Hey, you want
the
to
fuck away from me.
Yeah, exactly.
sure you're gay? Come on.
Yeah, they get that a lot. But there's a lot of like, there's a lot of like little organizations. Like I have lesbian friends that do a thing called Babes on Bikes, where they like it's
Motorcycles?
like motorcycles. Yeah, and they go travel and
That's cool.
yeah,
That's cool.
And they go hiking and camping and all that stuff.
Would it be fair to compare lesbians to cats and gay folks to dogs? Gay men to dogs? Like dogs like to
No, I'm
congregate
gonna
in
reverse
packs.
it.
But dogs like to be in packs.
I know, but dogs are loyal.
No, they're not. Not sexually.
Marshall's well. I don't know how many dogs you're fucking.
Dogs will fucking hump your leg, then they'll hump Jamie's
Oh,
leg.
that's true.
Yeah, they'll fuck
But I feel
everything.
like cats will just like ugh, and they'll just get out of here.
That's true too.
Very temperamental, very
Right.
sociopathic.
But they don't like to live in like a big pack,
Mm-hmm.
like the lesbians. Does this make sense?
That does make sense.
I think I'm onto something.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose sleep
Right?
tonight.
People always say men are dogs.
But dogs are loyal.
They're loyal, but men are loyal. They're just not that loyal sexually.
Right.
But they're loyal to each other. Good
Yeah.
friends. Like my best friends are all men. I mean, I have female friends, but if I need some shit, I'm calling Brian Callen.
Yeah.
Like I'm calling a male friend.
Yeah.
You know? There's a difference, I think.
I feel like gay guys are probably dogs and lesbians are wolves.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dude, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Them wolves are circling. They eat
Yeah.
dogs.
You've got your alphas and your betas and they all just know their place.
wolves eat dogs, you know.
Yeah.
Do you think lesbians eat gay guys? Is that what
Oh,
you're trying to
totally.
say?
Every day. In fact, 5 are being eaten right now as we speak. Viciously.
Have you ever heard of a lesbian and a gay guy getting together and deciding they're both straight?
Yeah. They're in the South. It's called conversion therapy.
Does that work?
No.
No. Has it any worked on anybody?
I feel like that was in a documentary somewhere where it's like
Pray the gay away?
Well, you have like pray the gay away. It's like I met my beautiful wife.
Oh, right. And they're all
And
like,
she was a lesbian and I was a gay man. And then
Right.
it like cuts to him tapping his shoe under a bathroom stall.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's sad shit, man.
It is weird. It's just brainwashing.
Well, it's just weird because those guys that do it, I read an article about this man who went sort of undercover to one of these Pray the Gay Away camps. And he was talking about this counselor who was literally sitting behind him, like holding him during this ceremony with a boner. And the guy had a boner pressed up against his butt. You could feel the guy's boner. And he's like, what in the fucking Sam Hill?
Yeah, the Sam Hill.
I always want to say that. What in the Sam Hill?
Thanks, Sean Elliott.
What in the Sam Hill? Hey.
It's the new porn parody of Tombstone, Tombone.
That's some sad shit, though, man.
Yeah,
To
it's still a thing.
Well, it would be just for men that aren't gay to understand what it was like. Imagine if there was like gay conversion therapy, where people were saying like, God wants you to be gay, and you've got to stop hooking up with all these ladies. And we're going to get together, and we're just going to pray that gay into you.
We're going to put on some Moulin Rouge soundtrack. We're
going to all dress up like Cher.
Dim the lights. Lock the doors.
And we're going to get this party started.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a ruthless thing, man. It's a weird thing that for whatever reason, society it's taken so long, particularly in this country, for people to accept it. That this is still up for debate with some people whether or not gay people should be allowed to be married.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Did you see the woman of God, it went viral. It was a lady who was pro Pete Buttigieg for president.
Yes.
And then she was like, what, he's gay? Oh, well, no. It's like,
Do you
wait,
see if you
what?
can find that? Can you find that? Can we play it or will we get in trouble? You probably can't play it.
Why would you get in trouble?
We'll get pulled off of YouTube. There's copyrights on those, so that they own the clip, and so they want other people to go to their page to have the clip, so we put it on our page.
We need to pray the copy right away. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. Yeah,
Yeah, she was like, what?
Yeah.
He's what? He's gay. Give me that fucking vote
Get
back.
out of here. I had a woman, God, where was this? I was doing a gig somewhere out of town, and afterwards we had the meet and greet, and she came up to me and she's like, I really thought you were really funny. And I was like, thank you. And she's like, I didn't even care if you were gay. I'm like, okay.
Didn't even care. I still laughed.
My job is done.
I still laughed.
I still laughed. And that's always how I've been.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
And you made me laugh through that. So
well, I don't talk about it.
congratulations.
Yeah. I'm like, it doesn't define who I am.
Right. It shouldn't.
No.
I mean, I just can't believe that it's still such an issue. Unless they're trying to fuck you, what do you care? Like, why do you care?
Yeah.
The most interesting thing about Pete Buttigieg is that it's not that he's gay. That's the least interesting thing about him.
Yeah, he's a very, basic gay.
Yeah.
It's just very,
but it's like that's what the reason why he's the guy is because he checks a lot of these progressive boxes. And he's also got a shitload of people donating to him. Here it is. He's married to him. What?
I mean,
Are you saying he has a same-sex
Yeah.
partner? Look at her.
look, she looks like a woodchuck.
Yes. She should be concerned about her diabetes. Are you kidding me? I don't want anybody like that in the White House.
Yeah, but also this is what breaks my heart is this woman's clearly doing her job, and then she has her son with her, and she's like, no, but I'm raising my son to be open-minded because I'm a Christian as well, and love is love. And that's what we need more of, is when people cherry pick the Bible, like a Jim Baker, who's like, or even our amazing Christian commander-in-chief. Where
Why
it's
does
like,
it say in the Bible that man should marry a woman then? I totally respect that.
It's just sad. It's just like, in the Bible it says this, and it's like, well, in the Bible it says, you can always go against what the Bible says from a different verse. It's like, it doesn't say to eat shrimp or pork or anything like that, but I'll see half these people at a Chili's buffet, just going to town.
Yeah, eating a lot of shellfish. You imagine if you got all the way up to heaven and God was like, look, I don't care about guys fucking guys, but all that clams. You guys are assholes. It says in the fucking Bible, don't eat clams. Why'd you eat clams? Did you read what I said?
It was Mardi Gras. I couldn't help myself.
Why are you wearing two different kinds of cloth? You don't wear two different kinds of cloth.
I know.
That's in the fucking Bible.
And that's the gayest thing, too. Like, if I did my whole job on earth and I got to heaven and God was like, girl, 2 kinds of cloth. I'm like, wait, what? No. Back to hell you go. Wait.
Well, also the Bible's clearly seen the hand of man. I'm sure there was probably some things that people had figured out, whether it's from psychedelic experiences or what have you, that they had. There's some core tenets. We should treat each other as if, these are our brothers and sisters. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Don't steal, don't murder, all that stuff. We can keep together and live in peace.
Yeah.
And then people got a hold of it. They
Exactly.
got their greasy little mitts on it. I think the shellfish and the cloven hoof shit, like with pork, like that is in, is that in the Torah or the...
What a great word, cloven hoof.
Yeah, well,
I
you're
love
not
that.
an animal with a cloven hoof that eats its cud. They're
Yeah.
like pork. You're not supposed to eat pork, but that's probably because they had trichinosis.
But this woman sews. She's a witch.
Right. And what the fuck happened with Noah? How did Noah, what was he doing up there? He was doing
In
drugs.
the ark?
No, I mean for
He
sure.
was doing drugs. Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
they were all doing drugs.
Two of every kind.
Moses was doing drugs. Yeah, they were all doing drugs. I guarantee you. I think that's probably the root of most of these religious experiences. Those guys found mushrooms. They were tripping balls. They came back with some really loosely
stories.
put together commandment that they got
Yeah.
from God. Like Moses when he came down from the mountain. In Jerusalem, the Jerusalem scholars now believe that the burning bush that talked to God
Oh,
or
God.
talked to Moses
Yeah.
was the acacia tree, which is a tree that's rich in DMT. So they believe this thing of a burning bush was actually them smoking this plant and having these psychedelic experiences
And talking to
and
it.
talking to God.
Word.
Makes sense, right?
That's cool. What
'Cause-
about Job and the whale? That's always confused me.
Good one, right?
Yeah, 40, or was it 40 days in the belly of a whale?
Maybe Job's full of shit. How about that?
I would think so.
Maybe Job was like a beloved guy, and everybody's like, I don't want to believe he's lying to me.
Jonah was the
Oh, it was Jonah.
Jonah and the
That's
whale.
right.
Who's
What did
Job?
Job do?
Job worked. He had something to do with working.
Oh, he's a worker.
He has his own book. It's the Book of Job, but
grew up in the South, didn't pay attention to Bible class. I'm sorry. And look how I turned out.
When I lived in-
large family. So.
He had a large family. Oh, great story.
And then the woman, or then what? And then Lot's wife, when she turned around and turned into salt. Sure.
Well, she fucked up.
Yeah.
She fucked up.
That was her fault.
Well, how about? Listen. How about Adam and Eve? Mm-hmm. How weird is that one?
And Lilith.
That dirty bitch wanted to eat that apple,
She did.
and she didn't want to listen.
Which they said the apple was a pomegranate. They said the apple could have been a pomegranate. Yeah, because it's the fruit of life because it has so many antioxidants in it.
There's another theory that the apple is actually the term apple is actually based on the color red, and that it actually represented the Amanita muscaria mushroom, which was the mushroom that they believe Christianity was based on in the first place. There's a book called The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross by a guy named John Marco Allegro, who is an ordained minister. Yeah, see that?
What?
That is an original fresco from some France. See, it is 13th century fresco depicting Adam and Eve and the tree of knowledge. So that's mushrooms. And that mushroom is a mushroom called the Amanita muscaria. The Amanita muscaria is a really cool looking mushroom that you can find. I found one in Colorado recently.
What? Colorado?
Yeah, you find them growing.
Wow. Are they big like that?
Yeah, they're pretty.
tall?
Well, those obviously are exaggerated. Those are really tall.
No,
but see,
it's the Bible. Nothing's exaggerated.
Stop it.
That's really cool. I never
Yeah.
even thought about that.
The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross. Go to the cover of the Sacred Mushroom and the Cross. You could see the image of this mushroom, and you realize like, oh, that thing looks a lot like Santa Claus. Like it's red and white,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of weird parallels with Santa Claus. The
So-
mushroom grows under coniferous trees, like pine trees. There's a
What?
mycorrhizal relationship with coniferous trees, and it grows like almost instantaneously. You know,
And that looks like a pomegranate.
it does.
Yeah.
Sure. It looks like an apple too.
It does.
Yeah. So that book is a really weird book. It's hard to follow. It's really complicated. But the book is essentially saying this guy, John Marco Allegro, he studied the Dead Sea Scrolls for 14 years. And his conclusion, after he was one of the people that was on the committee to decipher the Dead Sea Scrolls from Aramaic to English. And after 14 years, his conclusion was that the entire Christian religion was a gigantic misunderstanding, and what it really was about was the consumption of psychedelic mushrooms and fertility rituals.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that he
Which pagan. Isn't
Yeah.
that, we take it all back to paganism, which we're not supposed to celebrate. But we are.
But we are. Christmas is a pagan holiday. They had to move a bunch of the holidays to coincide with pagan holidays just to get pagan people on board.
Yeah. You know what was, which blew my mind? It came out like 10 years ago. Was that Zeitgeist video about Christmas and everything and Jesus and everything? And I was just like, whoa, I had no idea. Check that out. That's, if you haven't, that's really good.
It's when you stop and think about how long people have been telling the story of Jesus and how weird it's gotten over the years and how many times it's been distorted and twisted and changed and turned from ancient Hebrew, the original Bible, the Old Testament, ancient Hebrew, and then they converted it to Latin and Greek and then English and then the New Testament and then it's so hard. And then God's going to punish you and bring you to hell if you don't follow these words. But they're all so screwy. You're supposed to believe in all this nonsense, like people coming back from the dead. There's John Marco Allegro. So the Dead Sea Scrolls were found in this. It's a crazy story because they were found in Qumran, which is in Israel. And they found them in these caves, and they were in these clay pots, and they were made out of animal skins. They were written on animal skins, and they actually had to do DNA tests on the animal skins so they could line up the pieces with the ones that were from the same animal, so they can make this sort of assumption that this all was one piece, because a lot of it was all broken up. So they had to put it all back together again and try to figure out what it all meant. And he came up with this one theory that the word Christ, it comes from an ancient Sumerian word which means a mushroom covered in God's semen.
What?
Yes.
Not semen.
It's cum. The rain.
It's a cum shroom?
The rain was cum.
Oh, man.
The rain was like God's semen, and then these mushrooms would come out of the ground right after the rain, right? Because you've seen like when it rains, the next day these mushrooms are huge.
Yeah, they're massive.
Yeah, well, they eat them, they trip balls, and they think that it's coming from God. And so all the stories in the Bible were essentially about them trying to hide these mushroom rituals in allegories and parables and all these different stories, that made sense to them but wouldn't make sense to their conquerors, like the Romans.
Whoa.
Bro.
Because, I feel like if after a big rainstorm, because those mushrooms pop out of the ground really fast, so they don't have TV, they don't have Instagram. So they're probably like, whoa, these weren't here like 2 days ago. Let's try them out.
Well, have you ever talked to Duncan Trussell about when he used to live in Asheville?
No.
When he used to live in Asheville, they'd actually spray things on the manure to keep the mushrooms from growing, because so many psilocybin mushrooms grew in the manure out there, and they even added things to the cow's diet, and they were trying everything to kill these mushrooms. Because these college kids, Duncan Trussell and his buddies would go out to the fields, and there would be fucking mushrooms everywhere.
Yeah.
Because Asheville, North Carolina, is like great environment.
Yeah, humid.
Moist, and everything's green and lush. These cows would just fucking lay turds, and these mushrooms would grow out of them, and these kids would trip balls.
Yeah.
And Duncan talks with great fondness of his college days, just going out into the fields and finding mushrooms, and they would all just trip their fucking balls
Just sit
off.
out in the field and
it came
do it.
Overnight. Like, it rains, and then the next day you go out in the morning, and there's like fucking 5 pounds of mushrooms just floating around.
Ugh.
Good times.
Good times.
That's next. That's next for decriminalization.
Mushrooms?
Yeah, that's next. They're going to make that happen. They're going to make it happen. It's already decriminalized in Colorado. My friend Rashad Evans was here yesterday. He was talking about it. I think they're going to pull that off in California as well.
They have to.
Just even for microdosing. If we could just get everyone to microdose, the world would be so much better.
I feel like that's the new trend right now. I hear that all the time.
Yes.
Everyone's just like, I just microdose.
I've done it a bunch of times.
I know somebody who microdoses acid. I'm like, shit.
A lot of guys in Silicon Valley do.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they think it keeps all their negative chatter at bay. I had a buddy of mine who was just here the other day, microdoses. He says he takes it every 3 or 4 days. That's his thing. No. Mushrooms.
Like the little capsules, the little pills?
Yeah, they grind it up. They grind up the mushrooms, and he'll take 1 capsule every 3 or 4 days, and he said it just keeps negativity out of his head, keeps him positive, keeps him healthy. Yeah.
See, that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of fighters are into it now.
Yeah. I feel like that's what they did with weed. It's like, I just feel like... especially now in California, I just feel like more people are just kind of chill with it. You know what I mean? I just remember I can't even go back to like back in the day of like, I got a joint, let's go smoke it in the car. Like, shut up.
Don't tell
Hold on, the car's driving by.
God, especially if you were traveling.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Joey Diaz, there's a famous film of we went to Austin, Texas, and Joey Diaz used to hide the
Love
weed
that
under his
town.
balls. And he's on the Alex Jones show talking about how he hides weed is under his balls.
And it's there now.
It's probably stuck there somewhere. He probably forgot about it. But that's what he used to do. He used to take a little baggie, put his weed in a baggie, zip it up, and tuck it under his balls in his underwear.
God, that's crazy.
Yeah, you had to be careful.
Yeah.
I knew guys that would put it in coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coffee, and then now you just have a bag of gummies, and you're like, whatever.
They don't even know what it is. I mean, how many people
Or a
are
vape pen.
vapors?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a vape pen. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
They don't check. They don't give a fuck. They're just looking for bombs.
Mm-hmm.
And as it spreads across the country, the legality, I think it's legal, state legal in what, 9 states?
Something like that, yeah.
And then medically legal in like 18 or something. How many? Let's find out. How many states?
Let's
Jamie,
try it.
let's try.
Siri.
I think it's,
Alexa.
I'm going to say 9 states legal.
I'm going to go.
18 states medical.
Okay.
Is that right, Jamie? Let's find out.
I think.
Look at that. Oh, shit. All those green? Yeah, the dark. The dark is
The dark
legal.
ones
The
are
dark
legal.
is legal, yeah.
And all the other ones are what? Medical?
Yeah.
So everything's medical?
Well, Texas isn't. I don't think Texas is.
Oh, what is Texas?
Texas
Get
is
to Texas.
still-
Go to Texas.
The light green
Texas.
is
Texas.
Yeah,
Get to Texas.
So the light green is nothing.
Medical. CBD oil. Oh.
CBD, yeah.
Decriminalized. No. Well, at least they can get CBD. Look, CBD's the gateway because that shit is so good for you.
CBD is a gateway.
That is the gateway.
I know. They have it in everything now. Hand cream, eye drops. Yeah.
Medical, yes. Medical, no. Decriminalized, no. So the light ones are what? Go to light ones.
Are fully illegal. And
What's
like,
Tennessee?
That's Tennessee.
I have family in Tennessee. What are they?
Fully bullshit.
Yeah, Tennessee.
The light ones are fully bullshit.
We
Go
had to
up-
sneak around in Tennessee.
What is up in those green ones up north?
Well, that's Maine,
What is
Vermont.
those squares? The squares, the light ones down.
Oh, the yellowish
down.
ones, yeah.
What is that? Wyoming. No medical, no decriminalized. What is the one next to Wyoming? What is that state? Right next to left. Idaho. No. Yeah, see? That's how they keep people out. Because Colorado, man, when they made it legal in Colorado, fucking everybody moved there.
Yeah, they did.
Colorado boomed.
Of course.
Their real estate jumped tremendously. They started making a shitload of money. I think Hawaii's got it like weird too.
This is mixed.
Yeah, what does it say?
Medicinal, yes.
Mixed.
Reduced,
Medicinal.
Decriminalized laws.
Oh, okay, so it's reduced penalty. And then Alaska's like free, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legal. Powerful friends in Alaska.
God, that's crazy.
It is crazy. But look, that just what we're looking at there. Massachusetts legal, Maine legal, Vermont legal.
What is that? Illinois?
Is New Hampshire still illegal? What is New Hampshire?
Mixed.
Mixed.
Medicinal, and then reduced.
Medicinal, yes.
They don't really care. They're
But they're
just
supposed
they're
to
like
be-
Austin. You know, they're just like, man, we're in Texas, but we're cool.
But New Hampshire's weird because that's supposed to be live free.
Yeah.
Like their bumper stickers, their
Live
license
free
plate.
or die hard?
No.
What is live free or die
Live free
trying?
or die.
Yeah.
And Florida is what, medical?
Yeah.
So there's really only a few backwoods states.
Well,
Where-
Florida bath salts are fine. So
1, 2, 3, 4,
DC
5,
thing's
6,
always weird
7.
because it's fully legal in DC, and that's not a state or a thing. That's the federal
Right.
government city, but
Right.
like it's not legal.
Get that cursor off the state so I can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 states fully legal.
12 are legal. So what'd you say,
Yeah.
9?
I said 9.
So
I
12.
think.
That's good. That's progressive.
Yeah, it's nice.
But
It's
I feel
nice
like
to
it's
see
an
it
election
changing.
year. We got, I'm sure some people are putting it on the ballot to legalize it, maybe.
Well, there's a picture of Bert Kreischer taking his shirt off in the
What?
in the green room. I know, crazy.
That's nuts.
I've never heard of such a thing. But it was the moment that weed became legal in California. Bert stripped his shirt off and started running around on stage. We were doing an End of the World podcast in the green room or in the main room in 2016 when Trump was elected. That was a weird night.
That was a weird night. I remember where I was. I was at the Improv that night.
Yeah.
Because we were supposed to be doing a show, and it was like a... That's right. You guys were all on stage at that table. That's
Yeah,
right. That's
we
right.
did
It was
a
like
live
you,
podcast.
Sarah, Tiana.
It should have been the Bill Burr show. 'Cause
Yeah.
Bill Burr was on fire. He was
Yeah.
roasting
That was
everybody.
crazy.
It was amazing.
It was a nut. I remember like we were at the Improv watching the election happen, and all of a sudden everyone was going red. And someone looked at me and was like, "Are we in trouble?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're totally fucked."
Well, people didn't think it was coming. They had
Yeah.
this idea. Well, people have these ideas of what's good and what's not good, what's going to happen and not going to. Which brings me back to this Mayor Pete guy. Mm-hmm. They came up with that guy because they said, look, here he is. He's a young, handsome guy. He's gay. He's a mayor. He speaks well. I
He's
think he was
served
he's
in
a
the
veteran,
military,
right?
yeah.
So like this will be the guy. But he's also backed by all these billionaires. Like it's a shell game.
What do you mean? He's got a wine cave. Leave him alone.
He's got a wine cave? What does that mean?
Well, what's it like? Elizabeth Warren said something like he had this fundraiser in a wine cave. Like, yeah, it was like all these like rich billionaires. It was like a cave.
Wow.
What is it called? A wine cellar, but it happened to be a cave somewhere out here in California.
They're just trying really hard to keep it from being Bernie. Really hard.
yeah.
They don't want Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
If he gets in there, apparently, he was an independent for so long, and he doesn't want to play ball, and he doesn't accept any money. Doesn't accept any money
He's
from
just
any.
like the cool grandpa.
Yeah.
I think he's. I mean, shit. I love Bernie. You know why? Because he, like, you could say, "Oh, Happy Martin Luther King Day." But then you look at an old picture of him, and he's marching next to Martin Luther King
Yes, right.
for civil rights.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You can't be like, no. Like, where were you?
Right.
It's like I don't know. I have hope. I have hope for somebody just to.
I have hope for him socially.
Yeah.
I like what he stands for socially.
But then you look at.
I don't know if economically it's feasible because I don't understand economics. Like when people start talking about when he was on here, he was describing that if they just took a very small amount of money from every transaction that they do, like less than 1 cent from every transaction that Wall Street does, that it would add up to more than enough money to pay for healthcare and a lot of other things.
School.
He was explaining it all. And he was explaining it like very calmly, and it didn't seem like he was bullshitting. I was like,
I don't think he is a bullshitter.
I
I
don't
think
think he's
he's
a bullshitter.
been in the game for years.
Yeah.
He knows how it works.
no, he's not a bullshitter.
He knows how these people with money work,
Yeah. It's
funding and
it's such a weird upheaval politically. Like things don't make 100% sense anymore.
yeah, I have
know?
I actually had a friend of mine ask me. He says like, who because we got our voter registration because we vote March 3rd here. So they're like, who are you going to pick? I'm like, God, I don't know. I mean, we're going to go blue anyways, but it's just like I honestly don't know.
It looks like Bernie Sanders is going to be the nominee. It
For
looks like he's winning in New Hampshire. It looks like are they saying he won in Iowa or
no,
not?
I think Pete did.
Bullshit. He beat him by 6,000 votes. It's so
But
creepy.
Pete beat him in a dance-off. So
Oh, did he?
yeah, I think.
Did he get down? Get down.
I would love to see Pete
Give
just.
him more coin flips. Remember
That's
that?
Oh, that's right. How about that fake coin flip? They robbed that coin. Whoever that is that did that coin flip, put that kid in a jail cell. You son of a bitch. Did you see that coin flip?
No, I want to see the coin flip.
The coin flip's hilariously
Was
rigged.
this in Iowa?
Yeah, hilariously rigged. Watch the coin flip. Hold on. Do it from the beginning. Watch this. Watch how bad this coin flip is. Go full screen. Go full screen, please. And do it from the beginning. Watch this. Flips it, catches it. Look, pulls it
Picks it
so
out
he
from
can
the bottom.
see, and then turns it over. Hey, fuck you.
Oh, wow.
Hey, fuck you.
And no one said anything?
Oh, they're all happy. Yay, it's Mayor Pete. Look, yay. That's what they wanted. They wanted it to be Mayor Pete. So this dude rigged this coin flip in front of the whole world. Watch this. Pulls it, looks at it. Okay, how shall I flip it? I'll do it like that. Horse shit. That's not how you do a coin flip, goddammit.
all.
At all.
Iowa learned a coin flip.
Imagine if you were betting $100 with that guy. He said, "Oh, I'll bet you $100." He's like, "Okay, I'll flip a coin."
Wow.
It's I win. What do you mean you win? You fuck. You rigged it. Look at that.
And what is his jacket? What is the patch?
I'm a cunt. It says,
Oh,
I'm a cunt. I'm
Cunt force.
A thieving cunt.
The cunt force,
Who's
yeah.
really bad at coin flips.
I love that woman who's like every mom in Iowa, like, I'm proud of my son.
How's that old guy watching right next to him? Hey, you fuck. That's not how you flip a coin. What country are you from? Kind of nonsense is that?
That's what we need more of, is just people calling out bullshit.
Yeah, is that how you do it in Greenland? Because that's not how you do it in America. You don't get to look at the coin then flip it over to the other side, you asshole.
Wow.
Look at it. He looked at it and then turned it, like manipulated it with his hands.
For sure,
also
don't
like-
do it again. Just do it again.
Yeah.
Well,
I know.
here's how you do it. Flip that bitch. Let it land on the ground.
Yeah.
Let it land on the fucker. Everybody back up.
That's what they do in football.
Yes!
And I know that.
Yes!
I mean,
Flip that bitch.
Flip
Imagine if they did
that
that at the
bitch.
fucking NFL. They would beat that
Wow.
guy to death.
So much money on that too.
Oh,
so much money.
Maybe-
Yeah.
But yet, this is literally could could change politics, like one way or the other. If Bernie gets it, or if Mayor Pete gets it, the delegates, it could all add up to one guy, or I mean, it could go down to the wire.
I mean, that's bullshit.
The whole thing's bullshit.
Bullshit.
But
What
this
are the
is
comments?
what they did.
Oh, they went off on
this.
him.
Of course they did. But this is what they did to Bernie Sanders in 2016. They rigged the DNC rigged the primaries then. They don't want him, and they're doing it now
because he's.
Because he won't work with them.
Yeah.
He's not corrupt.
Yeah.
They want someone who takes that money. They don't want Tulsi and they don't want Bernie. They push them out.
Yeah.
Right? They effectively eliminated them as threats. Slow, but they can't. Bernie's got too much grassroots behind him.
But who do you think, if he gets the nomination, who do you think he'll pick as vice?
If he picks Tulsi, he'll be smart. Ooh. Two of them together would be a dynamic team.
What if he picked AOC?
No, she's too young. She's only 28. She can't be president.
She could be vice, no?
I don't think so.
You don't think
you
so?
have to be 36 to be president. If he gets shot in the head, then what happens?
Oh, God.
Sorry.
I mean...
They probably would. I mean, if he caused Wall Street billions of dollars in losses, it could be real ugly for him. I don't think they're going to shoot him, but they'll definitely poison him.
You have to be 35 to be vice president.
Yeah, she's too young.
She's 28?
Yeah. Well, that's why she says things that don't totally make sense sometimes.
Well, we all do.
Well, one of the things she said, it's impossible to pull yourself up by your bootstraps in this country.
By the shoelaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
But here's why that's not correct. She used to be a waitress. Now she's a congresswoman. She's literally living proof that you can.
You can pull yourself up from the bootstraps.
She just worked hard. She worked hard. I understand what she's saying. She's talking about working families that are really poor and that have multiple jobs and that are struggling, and they're never going to be rich. They're never going to be wealthy. They're never going to be middle class. She's right in that regard. There's a lot of people that because of their circumstances, because of their responsibilities, they can't take any chances. They can't do the things that she did. She's young and single. She's right in that way. But I don't. Yeah, see, I have a twisted relationship with this whole idea of democratic socialism. I'm 100% in favor, like me personally, of paying more taxes if I really felt it was going to make an impact for the better of humanity. If it was going to improve schools for kids that live in bad neighborhoods, if it was going to develop community centers in bad neighborhoods, if it was going to, provide better health care for people, I'm all in for that. I just don't trust the government, meaning I don't trust the kind of people that you would give that money to, and then they would allocate it however the way they'd like to do. I just don't know if they're efficient. I don't know if they're reasonable. Most people that work in government, like, I don't know if they have the capability of change on a large scale, or if they're already so compromised in so many different ways that it would just be throwing money away.
Right. Did you see the video with, I don't know when it came out. It's Adam Carolla sat down with Tucker Carlson. Did you see that?
What did they talk about?
They talked about, like, California. They talked about the homeless epidemic that's here in California and how I'm going to try and quote it right, how he says the government just kind of looks a blind eye because we are a city and a state that lives on permits and parking and licenses, and we just want that money, so it's like if he says something, Forest Lawn Memorial, like how you look across the way and there's all these immigrants and whatnot, like selling flowers, but like a woman driving without a license plate, she'll get pulled over and charged, but all these other people. It was kind of interesting, and I hate being like, oh, Tucker Carlson, but it was actually a really interesting interview.
That's probably a good point.
Yeah.
California would care about the homeless if we could get money from them.
If we could get money from them.
Sure.
And on the way over here, too, I was just looking at all these tents, and it's just so fucking sad. It's so sad.
It's really sad, and it keeps growing.
It keeps growing. I live in West Hollywood, and I remember like a couple of years ago, because, it went from downtown, and then downtown pushes them all out, so they keep going west. Some go to the beach, some go to Santa Monica. But now it's like I live in an area that, 6-7 years ago, it was fine. But now it's like even on the way to go get coffee this morning, I walk everywhere I go. It's like I saw like three homeless people just outside, just screaming at nothing. They're in tattered clothes and they're dirty and they're, I used to work with a girl years ago at a restaurant when I waited tables, and she's now homeless, and she's like out of her mind, and I feel bad.
Was she always out of her mind?
No, her name was Lotus. She did yoga, and now
what happened?
I don't know.
Did you try to talk to her?
I did. It was like I got to watch the progression of the illness. Yes. So I would see her every now and then. I was like, hey, what's going on? Because like back when the recession happened, we were raiding tables. So we bounced from job to job because one day we'd go to work and there'd be chains on the door because they couldn't pay us. So we had this little kind of group that we would go apply together at different jobs. And then I started seeing her out on the street, just walking around. I was like, hey, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Da, 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 da. And she just kind of never let me know how she was really doing. And then like a couple of years would go by and I'd see her and I'm like, she looks a little out of it. And I would say hi to her and she wouldn't respond. And then now it's full on like teeth are missing and running down the street crying. And it just breaks my heart because it's like I don't know what to do. And I don't know if she would be willing or...
How tight were you with her? You
I
had
mean,
you had her phone number?
No. I don't even know if she has a phone. I can't.
Right, but did you at one point in time have her phone number?
Yeah. And it's like it's just that like inner guilt, and you're just like, God, how did it get so bad? She had an apartment. I think her parents passed away, and that might have like set her, spiraling. But yeah, I remember just like doing a spot at the Laugh Factory one night and walking outside, and you know how they just keep everyone outside, like you do. and she just like barreled through everybody just screaming nonsense and like shit, like teeth missing, and it's just sad. It's just really, really sad. And then I'm at the gym working out and I'll see her like down there, with her garbage and everything, and yeah, she doesn't. It's just sad. It's a lost cause.
When you knew her, she didn't seem like she had any mental health issues?
No.
Really?
No. I mean, she would do yoga. I mean, I remember her she was always sweet. Lotus. Her name was Lotus Harmony, which I don't know if that's a real name. But at the time, that's how I knew her. And she was always just this sweet lady, just beautiful skin, beautiful smile, always in a good mood. When she got mad, you were like, oh, man, Lotus is pissed, because she was always so friendly. And yeah. And then now you're just like, damn. And I just want... I don't know what to do. I would love to help her because it just breaks my heart. Homeless people break my heart, but female homelessness really, really is sad for me.
Yeah, because we're sexist.
Well, it's.
I feel the same way.
It's just like someone's daughter, someone's wife, someone's just out there, vulnerable to the elements and predators, and it's just, it breaks my heart.
No, it's awful, but I think most of what you're seeing with homeless people is people that are severely mentally ill. So you got to wonder, like, what caused... Maybe she was on medication and her insurance ran out.
Yeah.
She couldn't...
Full-on Joker. Yeah.
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 Dude, that's real.
It is real.
It's fucking real. There's a lot of people out there with giant mental health issues.
Yeah. I know several people who... they would have anxiety. A guy that I used to date, it's like, we dated for a long ass time, but it's like if he didn't have his anti-anxiety, and he got off that. I mean, he would full on have a panic attack, and that would get dirty. And I had to witness that, which was insane.
Yeah, people that lose it because they're off their medication.
Yeah,
that's a sad situation because you're always going to be tethered to this thing that
Good
keeps
word,
you sane.
by the way. You used it twice today.
Did I?
Yeah, you said it earlier before we started.
I probably use it all day.
Yeah.
I just hope it works.
Tethered Tuesday. Hashtag Tethered Tuesday.
It's, like what happens to them if the fucking coronavirus hits and they get locked indoors for 6 months?
And you just become agoraphobic and lose your shit?
Well, we were talking about this the other day that most of what this is all happened from the Reagan administration. During the Reagan administration, they changed the standards of what it means to be mentally ill, and they just released people from asylums because they didn't want to pay for it all. Mm-hmm. And, if LA is a city of 20 plus million people, which is as many people in LA as I think is in all of Australia. Mm-hmm. So think about that. Think about the amount of money and that they can't make asylums here. Think about how many abandoned buildings there are.
True.
Think about how much money would it cost. There's currently somewhere in the neighborhood of 70,000 homeless people.
Yeah, they said there was some statistic that said there's more empty apartments in this town than homeless people.
The thing is, though, that those folks don't just need a place because they'll fuck that place up and
rehabilitation.
Punch holes in the wall and shit in there and stuff.
Smear it.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah.
What they need is help, and they need medication, and they need counseling, and they need I mean, and some people, I'm not a mental health expert. Some of them you might not be able to do anything to.
Yeah.
Some are so
Just so far
gone, you
gone,
might
yeah.
not. And also they get so filled with despair.
Yeah.
I knew a bunch of guys that were homeless back from my pool hall days. There was a bunch of guys that would hang around the pool hall. They would even sleep on the floor. And, I knew guys who'd try to sleep in people's couches. They'd sleep at the bus stops. And then they'd come to the pool hall and try to hustle up enough money to get some drugs. And they were stuck in this place where they could never get past where they were. They were just in a rut, and they could never get out of it. And it was just...
It's heartbreaking.
Despair.
Yeah.
There's so much despair.
Because you're just like, what happened? For instance, the other day, I'm walking down Santa Monica Boulevard over by Barney's Beanery, and I just hear a... And I look over, and this kid's like, had to be 22, 23 years old. And I was like, what happened? Where are your parents?
One too many auditions. Blew a fuse.
Yeah, just snapped. If I hear no one more time, yeah, I know.
CIA dropped him, and he's just out there ranting and raving.
Dropped him. I'll show you, Hollywood Reporter.
You motherfuckers.
God.
There are people, though, that you meet in this town where you meet them early in their journey, and they still have hope. Like, it's not worked out yet, but I'm gonna make it. And then you run in comics.
Yeah. That's the thing. I think it's so relatable in our field as well, because you know those people.
Yeah, we do know those people.
I want to say I almost was one of those people.
Were you?
Oh, yeah.
When?
What time? I mean...
Give me a time where it was like...
2002, and then 2005, and then...
Really?
2000. Yeah, I mean, there were several...
I didn't meet you until when? 2007-ish?
I want to say, I think I met you at the Ice House when we were podcasting out there. Yeah,
that's
and then when you came back to the store,
that was like 2014.
Yeah, that's when I saw you again, and even then it was like, I'm making it work, and I remember you looked at me and you go, "You're the weirdest gay guy I've ever met," and I was like, "Fuck yeah."
Why did I say that?
I don't know.
We were probably all really high.
Yeah, probably so.
I probably didn't know what I was saying when I was saying it.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like that's. You get through that struggle, and you get through the years of being hungry and the years of like, can I pay my rent this year? And you do whatever you can to just scrounge everything up and do it.
So you had those moments where you're like, this might not work out. I might go crazy.
Or what's my other option? Move home. Or suicide.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, this town's hard. It's very hard.
Well, it's also, you see so many people that are doing well, right? Like, it seems so far out of reach. Like, when you're broke and you see some guy driving by in a Mercedes convertible, you're like, you see these people going into those big high rises off of La Cienega, doormen there and everything.
But no one lives there.
No one lives there?
Oh, no one can afford that shit. Are you kidding me?
What are you talking about?
I mean, there's maybe like, what I've heard is that they build those, and then the Saudis want their kids to come to school here and get an American education, so they just buy them for them. But nobody...
Have you done any research on this, or is this just...
I've overheard some things.
Well, where the real money is that Wilshire stretch.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's always been there.
Yeah. There's The Weeknd just bought some fucking redonkulous penthouse up there.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you get some crazy ass view. But isn't it weird that one strip is where all the luxury apartments are?
Wilshire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one, there's this
Going
one
west on
area.
Wilshire,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like one area around like the Santa Monica area.
Yeah. Where the fire happened, right?
Right. That was the Palisades, right?
No, that was Wilshire and...
Oh, Brentwood?
Yeah.
They had a fire in the Palisades,
Westwood.
too,
Westwood?
There was a fire in the Palisades. There was a fire in... This
Fires
whole thing,
everywhere. I
this
know.
whole
Everything's
thing could catch
on
on fire any
Mm-hmm.
day now. So what turned it around for you? What made it feel like it's going to be okay? Do you remember?
You know what? I'm going to say something, and it's going to come across really cheesy, but it's real. I just believed in myself.
That's not cheesy.
I had to be like, you know what? I know I've been doing this for so long. I know who I am. I know what I've got.
Well, ever since I've seen you, you've been a killer.
Thanks.
Like, you're really funny.
Thank you, man.
Like, I've seen some sets from you in the main room. I'm like, this motherfucker is... You're free.
Yeah.
You're up there. You're free.
Yeah.
You're like, you're loose and unrestrained. You're fucking funny.
Thank you.
But I didn't see you when you weren't. So like when I saw you, you were doing well.
Right.
Like from the moment I saw you, when I first met you.
And a lot of it, I think, was pressure from Mitzi because I skipped all that. I skipped the open mics. I skipped all of that. I just remember being at my lowest of lows and being like, what do I have to lose? And I remember being a kid and being like, you should do stand-up because I idolized, Joan Rivers and Robin Williams. And I remember being like, fuck it, let's try it out. And I remember getting
How old were you when you got on stage?
doing stand-up?
First time.
It was 2008, yeah.
That was your first time on stage?
That was my first time, yeah.
So you thought about it for a long time before you did it?
For a long time. And then, so from 2008 to 2009, or October 2008 to June 2009, that's when I had an open mic at the store. And I just remember Michael Jackson just died, and I just remember it was like, this energy was crazy that night. And there was an open mic. There was like 16 comics in the main room, and I was like 14. And I was like, no. And then they were like, Justin's going third.
So we didn't start doing the podcast at the Ice House until 2009.
Yeah, it was right after I got passed.
No, I don't think we started at the Ice House until 2011, now that I'm thinking about it. I think we mostly did it at my house for the first year or two.
It was 2011. That makes sense.
So that's probably when I met you. So you were already rolling by then.
Well, no. I
You were
had no
doing
idea.
well. On stage, you were doing well.
I was doing well, but I didn't know who I was. I knew how to make people laugh, but I didn't know I didn't know the process. And so Mitzi was the one who like passed me. I'm the last guy she passed at the store.
Whoa.
And so I just remember being like, oh,
What did she say to you?
She didn't say anything. She just pointed. She looked at Tommy and said, make him a regular. And he was like development spots? And she's like, no, he's ready. And then I remember being taken away, and they were like, you've just been passed by Mitzi Short. Like, it was like a weird, like, Ren Fair wizard thing. Like, dude, what has happened to you never happens. And then I just remember being like, oh, shit. Like, I did my research about the place, and I just remember being like, oh, damn. And I'm looking at her right now.
Yeah.
And just that feeling of, like, I've got to make this happen. I've got to make sure. Because she had never... I don't even know when the last time she came to the store was, but everyone kind of knew she was ill.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be like, God, I hope this wasn't like just her having dementia and being like, him, because like, oh, she's insane. She picked that guy.
Dude, when she passed me, I didn't sleep that night.
Really?
No. I was lying in bed. I remember thinking, I can't believe. Like, I'm a paid regular at the store. I was already on TV.
Yeah?
I was already on a TV show. Yeah. That didn't mean shit to me.
Yeah.
What meant something to me was like, I was a real comic now.
It's a stamp of approval.
The guy had already been paid. I'm starting to cry.
Oh, Joe. Get in touch with the emotions. It's normal.
I'd already been doing stand-up like for money. I'd done a lot of headlining gigs. I traveled. I did some road gigs, and I did a lot of stuff around New York before I came to LA. And then I was out here in '94, and she made me a non-paid regular, and I would go. I'd go on last every night, and I was here every night because I didn't have any friends. I was staying at the Oakwood Garden apartments, those pre-furnished apartments, and I was on this television show that was terrible. And I was just going to the store every night. I would work all day during the thing. I didn't have any friends, and then I would go to the comedy store, and that's where I tried to find a home,
a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I got these late night sets, and it was like, it was always like 5 people in the audience, 6 people in the audience, and then one night she passed me. I've told the story before, but there was a guy named the Todd, and the Todd had he developed like some pretty severe brain issue, he went insane, and it was really sad because back then I had seen him before I ever came out here on MTV on the half-hour comedy hour. And he sat down next to Mitzi while I was on stage and laughed his ass off, just
Is this the OR or the main room?
In the OR, in the OR, and then I came off stage and she just goes, "Okay, you're passed."
That was it.
That was it. That was my second audition for her. The first one, she made me a non-paid regular, and I did that for months. And then I became a paid regular. But Todd pulled me aside, and he goes, I sat there, and he goes, "You're really funny." He goes, "But I sat there and I laughed really fucking hard. And I told Mitzi, you're really funny." And he goes, "And you're going to do that for other people someday."
Yeah. It's a cool feeling. It's a cool feeling I actually had the moment of seeing her I think it was at it was a reunion. What was it, the 40th reunion? Something a couple years ago, and they had me on like the class of 2000s. It was like Natasha and some other people were on the lineup, maybe even Duncan, I don't know. And she was sitting in the back. They brought her in her wheelchair, and I was like, I have to say hi to her. You know, I didn't get to say hi to her. I didn't get to meet her the last time. She just pointed and took off. And I kind of I went up to her and I looked in her eyes and I shook her hand and I said, "Hi, I'm Justin. It's an honor to meet you, and I just want to say thank you because you changed my life." And she just stared at me, and I was like, she doesn't even know. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, she just squeezed my hand, and that was it. Aww. That's all I needed. So that to me was like, oh, she's there. She gets it.
Yeah, you know, she'd have those moments where she'd be in and out. Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, that's everything that I've done that's led up to where I'm at now has been for her too, because I haven't had, other than my mom and my friends back home, I've never had somebody really believe in me like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
like
very special. It's very special. And just, to be a part of a family.
From her.
Yeah. And that's what it was. I mean, and that's what helped me getting out of that, like, I'm not good enough and, oh, I'm moving home. It's like, oh, wow, I actually have a home now. And every time I go there now, I just feel so welcome, and, you know, it's nice. It's a fraternity, it's a sorority, it's a university. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really is. It's hard to describe for people that don't know, you know? Like, I was talking to Bill Maher, and he was telling me he doesn't go to clubs. He's like, I'm not going to the fucking clubs. I'm like, why wouldn't you go to clubs? You don't like going to the clubs? He's like, I graduated from that. I'm done with that. I'm like,
graduated.
I'm like, dude, I'm never leaving.
If you graduate, at least you have an alma mater, you know? Go back.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like, why? That's the gym.
Yeah, it's the gym.
Yeah, I mean,
it's totally the gym.
You're not done learning. You're never done. Stand-up is never over. It's an endless journey. And especially if you do new specials, right? Because you abandon your material and you're starting from scratch every few years. You're never done. Like, you have to be around. I don't think there's any other way. I've done it different ways. You know, there was a time where I was gone from the store where I wasn't doing my best work, and I was doing way more gigs for the UFC, and I wasn't working in the clubs as much, and my stand-up just wasn't as sharp. It just wasn't as good. There's no way around it. It's like you have to do the work. There's no other way. And it's also, there's something about that environment, that place. It's so nurturing.
It is.
You know?
It's crazy because it's like I'm now on the road, and it's my first time actually like performing in theaters, which is crazy. But you know, I feel like the main room and the OR and all that has been that gym, has, like you said, where you're just like, okay, I'm ready to do this. I remember doing the Grand Ole Opry last year in Nashville, like where I grew, like as a kid from the South.
The Ryman Theater.
The Ryman.
Yeah.
And they just were like, all right, get out there. And I went out there. My mom's in the crowd. Like, it was so over. I didn't even think about it until afterwards. And I just remember walking out there and just being like, holy shit, I'm at the goddamn
Grand Ole Opry.
And it was just, and I just, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you were made for. Let's go.
I try to talk to people about what it's like to hang out at the store. Like, people that have never been, like, why are you there so often? I'm like, man, just come with me one day. Just come with me one day when I walk through the building.
Yeah. It's pretty.
We're so lucky.
It's magical is really what it is. And, you know, it's a place where, you know, there's egos and there's, you know, rivalries, I guess, and there's
a few that I've heard of.
Yeah,
I don't.
I try not to be a
couple
part
of gals that don't like each other. A couple gals don't like each other. That's all I know about. I know about a couple gals. Yeah, I don't know about any dudes. Do you know any dude rivalries? Do you?
Do I?
Yeah. Nah. You don't have anybody, right? Do you? You might. We don't have to discuss it. No. We can keep it positive.
I don't have rivalries. Here's my thing.
A couple people are annoying.
And a couple people need to check themselves because there's a lot of, like I just said, ego and bullshit, and I just don't have time for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But, you know, for the most part, it's just all hugs. Right?
Yeah. I will say that. Like, if you see somebody you can just catch up, you haven't seen them in months,
Yeah.
you just hug them,
Yeah.
and you just pick up right where you left
It's
off.
it's like an empowering environment. Like, it nurtures you. Like, you get there, you feel great. Mm-hmm. You know, that's why people come there even if they don't have a spot. Like, there's a lot of comics that are on the road, and they don't even want to do a spot, but they want to come to that back bar and hang out.
Yeah.
Like, I was just in town, I wanted to hang out. Ron White does that shit all the time.
Oh, yeah, Ron White's always there.
Always
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
Well,
That
he has a
back bar's
house.
great.
He has a house in Beverly Hills, so he just gets in his car. He's like, fuck it, I'll come on, we'll hang out.
Yeah, that back bar's great.
Back bar changed everything.
Yeah.
You know, it gave us a place. Mm-hmm. It gets infiltrated some days by normies.
Some days it's now being infiltrated.
Normies.
We need to stop the
Yeah.
infiltration.
Because all of a sudden they'll be there asking questions like, hey, this is not what this is for.
Yeah.
It's not here for you to grill me on how do you get started and how do you do this and how do you hey. I'm here with the comedians.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to hang out with my friends. I'm not.
Oh, I did a spot up in the belly room. Okay.
Did you really?
Did you? Get out of here.
Did you really?
Where's your name on the wall? Get out of here.
Well, that's the thing, right? Anybody can go up in the belly room if it's one of those weirdo shows. Those weirdo
But we like the
bringer
weirdo shows.
Hey, man, that's how people get started.
I started a show there that got picked up. It's coming out next month.
What is it?
In March. Yeah, it's the show that we got.
What are you laughing at? You're already laughing.
Because we started it 2 years ago in the belly room.
What is it?
It was called Stand Up to the Streets. And then
Stand Up to the Streets?
Yeah, it was a dance battle. You know how that roast
Jesus.
battle?
Yeah.
And so we started it 2 years ago, my friend Justine Marino. And the first day we were supposed to do it, you actually bumped us out of the belly room.
How did I bump you out?
I don't know. You were just like, I'm doing it tonight. We were like, damn it. Joe wins again.
Nobody told me about it.
No, of course not. But then
Comedy Store must have just offered it to me.
I think they did. But then we did it like monthly. Every month we went in there and did it, sold out every night. And then this network was like, hey, let's put this on TV. And it's coming out in March.
What's it on?
It'll be on the E! Network.
I was hoping you didn't say Bravo.
Well, same thing. I mean, let's be honest.
Isn't that what Keeping Up with the Kardashians are? Is that your lead in?
No, I don't lead in with
My wife
that.
was in the gym the other day watching that. And I walked in. I go, why?
Yeah.
You're smart.
Yeah.
You're interesting. What are you doing? Mm-hmm. She likes being distracted by nonsense.
Well, that's it. That'll do it for you.
They fucking know how to do it, too. It's like a hypnosis show. They have these smash cuts. They go quickly from one person to the next, and there's just enough drama. You're like, how are they going to resolve this?
But it's also like mind hypnosis because you're just watching. They're like, the other day I had a salad and it was really good. And you're like, why do I care? But tell me more about the salad.
I'm getting arthritis because my wrist hurts.
We want to have a Candyland themed party, but with no candy. What?
You know what I want? I want to take them and swap them out on Naked and Afraid.
Absolutely.
Take them and just drop them off in the jungle. See how they survive.
Naked and K-Frayed.
Ah!
That's it.
You know, I mean, have them do something really difficult.
Like change a tire or
just fucking anything hard. Their life is. I mean, it's really interesting because I made sort of a I don't know what you would say, not an oath, but I decided to stop making fun of Kim Kardashian after she started letting people out of prison.
Yes.
I'm like, that's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
She's real. Like that. She's really doing something. Like genuinely good. So I'm going to stop mocking her relentlessly.
I know. You have to. But it's like, and you know, she wants to be a lawyer.
Does
Go
she?
for it. Well, yeah, she's in law school.
Is she really?
Yeah.
She's going to law school.
Yeah.
Does she go there or does she do it at home? Does she have her assistant do it and tell her what the ansers are?
She gets the Cliff Notes, yeah.
Yeah, she probably
I think she's
hires
actually doing it. You know,
5 or 6 law students.
Her dad was
Robert
an attorney.
Kardashian.
Yeah.
He got the OJ off.
Yeah.
Or he helped. He was part of the dream team.
Yeah.
But he's apparently the one that OJ handed the bag of blood to. A bag of bloody clothes.
You heard it first.
That's what I heard.
Oh, man.
I don't know if that's true.
But I don't, you know, and you got to, I don't know.
I know, she's doing good.
I talk shit about him. Like, it sucks because I have like videos up from like years ago. And then I went to the, of me just shitting on them. And then I went to the People's Choice Awards and I had my friend Trevor Raines like do this, like he designed this like amazing country western tuxedo, but it was all their faces crying. It was so awesome. Check out my Instagram. It's so good. It was all, and I sat and this waiter came over to me and he goes, you know, they're sitting right next to you, right? And I was like, shit. I was freaking out. And so then they all come over and they're sitting right there. And I'm like, ugh, like my butthole
Did they look
went,
look at your jacket?
Kim looks up at me and she just goes, oh my God, that's amazing. And I'm like, ugh. And then she's like, Mom, look. And then Chris is trying to turn around and she can't. and then Chloe's there. And then Courtney loved it. And then they start taking pictures of me on their Instagram stories. And I'm like, oh my shit. God. And then I got up to go say hello. Look at that.
Let me see it.
Isn't that dope? That's when I worked at E.
Well, they're not all crying. They all look wonky.
At that one.
One of them was a wonky
it's
eye.
wonky. There's crying. It was awesome. That's a great pick. And then I got up to go say hi to them, and that's when the security guard almost like body slammed me.
Really?
Look at the one at the bottom. You'll get a full one.
Their security guard? They have overzealous security guards?
Oh, yeah. But I mean,
after she got kidnapped in Paris.
Exactly. Yeah. And then I thought to myself, I'm like, Justin, what the hell are you doing? You're 6'4". You can't just walk over and like a normal person. Sit down, you fucking commoner. Know your place.
Well, not only that, you have pictures of them all over your jacket, so the security guard might think you're fucking insane. And by the way, you look insane. Look at that face.
What are you talking about? That's just a strong jawline. Look.
What's going on here? Look at you.
That was, yeah.
You look like a crazy person. You definitely, you look good though.
Thank you.
It's not bad.
Yeah, representing.
For a ridiculous jacket and everything like that?
I wanted it.
It was coiffed.
It was stupid. I wanted it to be stupid and fun and campy. And
so what were you doing there? What were you there for?
I was there at the People's Choice Awards because I used to host a show on E called What the Fashion.
What the Fashion?
Yeah. So it was like the millennial version of Fashion Police.
What is it like working at E now?
Well, I don't work there anymore.
Well, what wasn't that long ago. What was it like?
Yeah.
It seems like an incredibly frivolous pursuit.
Well, I didn't really I worked there for 2 years. So I built this show up from the ground up called What the Fashion. And then, oh shit, we're doing an exclusive, aren't we?
Are we?
Yeah. And it was for Snapchat Discover, and it was awesome, and it was a great platform.
So it started on Snapchat?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You're one of those guys.
One of those guys. Who knew? And then, I used to write for Joan on Fashion Police a couple times.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
No.
You should.
Do I? Is
Fuck
that, is that still a thing?
Dude.
I'm starting a podcast.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Well, you definitely should have one of those.
I'm going to do it, yeah.
But why don't you have a YouTube channel?
I don't know.
Like, it's a great way to just put up content.
Yeah, I'll take the note and do it. Well, I'm going to. But
dude,
yeah.
You'd be giant.
Well, What the Fashion has a YouTube channel, so
Fuck
it's all up
them.
there. I know.
Fuck them.
But I got out of there in December, but I left just because I didn't get to really do all the fun stuff. They just
kind of fun stuff.
Well, like red carpet and like go to the events and stuff.
Dude,
and
if you have a popular YouTube channel, you can do that. And bonus, no boss.
Yeah, no boss. That's what I had to learn. I had to learn to be my own boss at the end of the year.
That's it right here. You're on a show with no boss.
Wait, you don't have a boss?
No boss.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're a boss-ass bitch, aren't you?
Boss-ass bitch. Yeah.
I know. So that's what I'm learning this year, is to be my own boss.
Yes, you can do it. 100%. I just try to encourage as many comedians as possible to do it. It's like you can put up content of your own. You can do anything on your own. I mean, so many people, like Tim Dillon, perfect example. Oh, by the way, have you seen these? I just got this exclusively. The I Love Daddy Tim Dillon shirt.
Oh, is that him in drag?
It's him as Meghan McCain.
Oh, I got blocked by her.
You did too?
On Twitter, yeah.
So did Tim Dillon.
Of course he did.
Why did you get blocked by her?
I just said something on Twitter. It was just kind of like,
what'd you say?
I don't remember, but I told her to fucking calm down, and now she's like, my father, and now she's like, I love gay people, and I'm like, well, okay, bitch. But yeah, that's a good stamp of approval too. Getting passed by Mitzi, getting blocked by Meghan McCain.
Well, she blocked Tim Dillon, and he was very excited about it.
It's kind of an epic thing. I got blocked by Chloe Grace Moretz, and
who's that?
She's an actress.
Why'd she block you?
Because I yelled at her in a movie theater.
Whoa!
She was on her phone.
Really?
Yeah, and I was watching The Purge, so I was like in the moment.
She was talking on the phone in a fucking movie theater?
No, she was on it. She was like checking Instagram, full brightness, just.
No.
Yeah, and she was sitting in the front, and I was livid. I've talked about this several times, and I'm still fucking triggered.
How did she know that it was you?
She didn't know it was me because it was dark, and I went over and screamed at her and told her to get off her fucking phone. Then I turned around, the audience started clapping because everyone was pissed off. So I was a movie hero.
Nice.
And then as I went out, someone was like, that's the girl you were yelling at, and paparazzi were all around her. And I was like, oh, I'm taking this to Twitter. I'm going to tweet. And I started tweeting at her saying, hey, bitch, get off your phone in the movie theater, especially if you're an actress and we're paying money to see you doing movies, you know? And then she blocked me. So then I wasn't done yet. I tweeted her boyfriend at the time's mom, who happens to be Victoria Beckham, Posh Spice, and was like, hey, your son's dating an asshole. You know who didn't block me? Victoria Beckham.
She probably didn't like her either.
Yeah.
I bet she didn't. Fucking her son. She's probably angry. That dirty bitch. Getting her bad breath over my son's dick.
God. Jesus. Wait, I just got a notification. She just blocked you on Twitter. You made it.
Good. I don't check.
Oh, my God.
You can block me all day on Twitter. I will never notice.
Who's the most famous person who's ever blocked you?
I have no idea.
You don't know? You don't care?
Know. I stopped reading Twitter mentions and all that stuff a long time ago.
I need to get better at that.
I don't read shit.
I'm going to do it, though. I'm going to read these comments.
Why?
Because it kind of gets me hard. I just
it's
like
so silly.
I think the whole premise of comments is fascinating to me. How someone takes time out of their day to just this motherfucker, like, you know, it just blows my mind, you know? And it's funny because sometimes they're very supportive. Like once I left the show, you know, people are coming and tagging me and stuff and being like, we want Justin back. Where's Justin? The show's not the same. And I'm just kind of like, well, it ran its course. You know, I did my thing and I'm moving on.
Right.
But it's just so funny how some people are just like, you know, it did, what's it called? Lights Out with David Spade the other day. And it was like, get this faggot off your show. And I'm like, shit.
How rude.
I know. It's just, but it makes me laugh because I'm like, well, who's on the show? Me, not you. So who's the faggot now?
I don't think that changes. I think people say things all day long. It doesn't change who you are. I don't think it changes. I think what the real problem is that people have access to your emotions. If it doesn't fuck with you,
right,
then I don't, you know, if you're one of those people. But for most people, it fucks with them. Like Bert Kreischer said it best. He goes, I was looking at Twitter the other day, and he goes, and then I was thinking, why am I risking the fact that something might fuck with my head or hurt my feelings?
Right.
And then I get off of it. That's what he said. I was like, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what it is. It's
well,
like,
we live in toxic times, you know?
it's not a good way to talk.
No.
Okay? Because if someone's in front of you, you would rarely be that mean. It would take a lot for someone to be that mean in front of you. But on Twitter, there's no real connection. Plus, they don't like the fact that you are the guy who's on TV and they're not. That's
Right.
a big thing. Like,
Right.
why, fuck him.
Why are you on there, not me?
And people have this weird idea about people who are doing well, that if they're doing well, you're allowed to shit on them. You know, like I fucking saw something where someone was talking about Kobe Bryant's wife, and they said, with all her money, she'll be fine.
Oh my
Can
God.
you imagine thinking like that? Like your emotions are attached to the fact that you have money.
So numb.
Like, you're fine. You're fine. You have money. Your fucking daughter and your husband died in a fiery helicopter crash.
Yeah.
And these people, this one person was like, with all her money, she's fine.
Yeah.
Just some shallow, broke
She doesn't
bitch.
have emotions.
Yeah.
She'll move on.
Amazing.
She's got 3 other daughters.
But it's also this thing where they feel like they're allowed to do that because you are really successful.
Right.
You know, and then with you, it's like you're on TV, they're not, so they're allowed to just shit all over you.
Yeah.
And there's a way that they can do it through Instagram comments or Twitter comments.
Hiding.
Yeah, hiding.
Or an anonymous, what's it called?
Direct message?
No, when there's not a picture, when it's just the eggshell or whatever, they can and you
tweet,
can create
anonymous
fake
account.
accounts and you can
Yes.
create multiple accounts.
Oh,
It's it's just some people just have too much time on their damn hands.
Yeah.
And it's just it's sad, and that's just that's fucked up when people just think.
Well, there's so many voices
They're
now.
not people too.
Yeah. Well, they just feel like it's a free shot. Look, I would have felt the same way if I was 15. If you gave me a fucking Twitter account when I was 15 and I was frustrated at the world, I would have said the meanest shit to everyone and anyone I could have gotten a hold of. 100%. I would have said the meanest shit. You know, I feel terrible for kids today.
I do too.
That their growth and their development is going to, you know, it's going to be permanent record.
Yeah. There was a really good ad oh God, what was it for? It was a cell phone ad, and it talks to a mother. It talks to 3 generations of people, and they talk, the grandpa, what was it like when you were a kid? He's like, oh, I went outside, we caught fish. I remember getting chased by a bear and throwing a fish down just so, and then I ran out of fish because the bear kept eating them, but I got away. And then he talked to the daughter, and she was like, oh, we built forts when we were kids. And then it talks to the kids. It's like, what's your best thing about being a kid? It's like, oh, I play video games, and I check emails. And it's like, oh. And they show the videos to the grandparents and the parents, and they're just like, oh, this sucks.
Well, a friend of mine works at Disneyland, and he said they're having a really hard time recruiting young people that know how to communicate.
What does that mean?
Like, they don't know how to communicate with people. They're stunted because they spend so much time tweeting to each other and text messaging each other that talking to strangers, they haven't developed these common courtesy skills and just the ability to talk to people and actually be curious. And that they have to tell them, put your fucking phone down.
Oh, yeah.
They're on their phone. They check their phone like every 5-10 minutes. They're just addicted to checking their phone. And they're addicted to this weird little dopamine rush that you get from looking at your mentions.
Like, what is it? Did someone talk about me? Like, what's going on? You know what's
going on?
really fucking weird is that there's a new way that younger people are getting in touch with each other, is that they will take a picture of themselves and then they'll put a text like, what's up? And then someone will text back with the picture, not much, you?
What?
So, yeah. Does that make sense? So they'll actually so it's like, say if you and I were talking on the phone, it's like I'll take a selfie, I'll be like, hey, what's up?
And then you send me a
send
text
it to you.
So it's not just the text, it's a text with a photo.
Yes.
That's
it's
a new
face photo with a message, like a
Yeah.
Snapchat or an Instagram, like, what's going on?
Do you have friends that they send you or they rather call you FaceTime just out of the blue?
Yes, and I don't answer them. I hate that.
That's a new thing.
It's so weird.
A lot of people are doing that.
You know what's even weirder is looking at somebody crossing the street or something, and they're just like, yeah, so I don't know. My favorite is I have a friend of mine who's my neighbor as well, and he was FaceTiming. He was FaceTiming on Instagram promoting his brother's. His brother has not a club, but it's like a social experience, but he's trying to promote it or whatever. And he was like, yeah, go check this out. And this guy on a skateboard goes right by him, and he's like, and he was like, okay, that happened. And that's not how heroes wear capes, I hate
get off the phone,
people,
fuckface.
and I hate people who FaceTime on planes and in airports.
Yeah, that's weird, right? It's loud, and you're talking to the other person loudly.
Put your headphones on,
Yeah.
you savage.
You fucking animal. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, it blows my mind.
But the FaceTime thing, it seems like it's within the last year or two. Guys started just FaceTiming me out of nowhere.
FaceTiming you?
Yes, my friends.
No. And you
Yeah.
answer it?
Sometimes. If
And
I
how-
like them.
how do you feel?
A lot of rappers. Rappers love the FaceTime.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they love it. They like FaceTime.
Just want to see where you're at.
I just think it's just a more fun way of doing it or something.
Have you done a group FaceTime?
What?
Oh, what?
Stop it.
It's happened on accident. In a group text, you can accidentally make this a FaceTime call, and it will call everyone in the group text.
Whoa.
I would
Yeah,
walk
but
into
when
the
everyone
ocean.
answers, it's kind of interesting because everyone's like, well, what the fuck? You see what 7 people are all doing at once.
It must be an emergency.
Well, you would have to have an iPhone Max for that.
Yeah, they're the newer ones,
The big
yeah,
ones.
yeah.
You want the big one. You want the small phone for that. I switched over to the small phone, so I look at it less. That's how stupid I am.
Oh, yeah?
I'm like, if I have a small phone, I'll look at it less.
The new Samsung
The
S20.
little flip?
No. Well,
Wait.
they announced that
Yeah.
during the Super Bowl. They announced a new one today. It's got a 7-inch screen
What?
by default.
God damn.
It's like 7.1 inches, I think they said.
What is the
It's
Note?
100 megapixel camera
Oh, God.
and 108 megapixel maybe. I think
What are we
they
going to
said.
see each other's pores now?
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
got
what we're
100
at?
times
Deep
zoom on it too.
nostril hairs.
I want to see the eyelash lice that you're carrying. Ugh.
It's
Yeah.
a crazy phone.
Samsung is always raising the. I mean, they have to keep up. Like, in order to jump people off of the Apple tit, they have to make sure that they really provide something exceptional.
I know.
I'm so glad that guy was barking about the Apple keyboards the other day. I was typing last night on my Lenovo Thinkpad, which is my preferred method of writing. It's so much better because I have a MacBook, the new one too. They're like, oh, we fixed the keyboard. No, you didn't. You didn't really fix it. You didn't fix it for a writer. It's. I can write on it. I have written on it.
What do you have, a pen and it just kind of...
No, you're right with the keyboard.
Oh,
but
gotcha.
the keyboard blows. It just sucks. It's not good. The keyboard in the Lenovo is like effortless. It's so much better. There's a little push to it. The little keys have like a little C shape to them, so it's a little dimple where your finger fits in perfectly.
Some finger dimples?
Yes, and you just gently caress the keys and they touch. How's his name? Taika Waititi?
Taika Waititi.
Watiti?
Yeah.
Savage.
I love him.
What does he do?
He was the director of Jojo Rabbit. He just won an Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay.
I heard Jojo Rabbit's hilarious.
It's fun. It's
haven't
really
seen
good.
it.
He's just a cool guy. He's the first Indigenous person to win an Oscar.
Where's he from?
I think Australia.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
He's right, though, about those shitty fucking keyboards.
Yeah.
Jamie sent it to me immediately. And I was like, yes! Yes!
Did you say yes?
Yes!
What's the writer's guild to take it up with like fucking Apple because it's causing people pain.
How much he
and stuff.
hates the Apple
Well,
keyboard.
I don't think it's really causing people pain. I mean,
I think
suck
he was
it up,
joking
bro.
a little bit. He was joking a little bit, but
It's not good. The fucking Lenovos are so much better. Lenovo Thinkpads, if you're...
Wait, I want a Lenovo Thinkpad. What does it look like?
I'll show you.
Oh.
Go get Thinkpad. Get to the Thinkpad X1 Carbon. That's what I have.
Jesus
it is
God.
the shit. It weighs nothing. It weighs nothing. It's beautiful. It folds completely flat. It's so superior. The thing is that it's just like if you're caught in the Apple ecosystem.
Right, which
and
I
by the
am.
way, Windows 10 is not bad. It's excellent. It doesn't fuck. It's never crashed on me. I've had a Lenovo I've had 3 different ThinkPads now for the last 3 years. And they haven't crashed on me once.
Yeah, that looks sharp.
It's fucking so. Those keys are
Just
magical,
flips up,
man.
yeah.
Your fingers just glide over those keys. You make so many less mistakes. So many less.
So many
few.
less. So
You make
so few
much
mistakes.
fewer
yes.
mistakes. Much fewer mistakes. Look at all the stars it has. 4.6 stars. You
Wow.
fucking twats. Get your shit together, Apple. It's just
I know.
It is. And by the way, you can also get it in a touchscreen.
What?
Yeah,
I need to
it's
get
a
one of these.
superior laptop. If you write, if you like for me, I like to come home from the store. I spark a joint up, and when I'm, everyone in my house is asleep. All my kids are asleep. My wife's asleep. That's when I get my writing done at
Yeah.
night. And that thing is a breeze, man. My fingers just glide over those keys. And I brought my MacBook on the road, and I was writing on that. I'm like,
Not
this
the
is
same.
dog shit.
That's
It's
so
dog shit
interesting.
in comparison.
I can't write on my MacBook because
How come?
it's just too hard. And then I find myself writing on my phone, but I want something like you
Dude.
said, sleeker, softer.
Dude, it weighs
Spark a joint, put on
nothing.
some Sade.
Yes.
Yeah.
Smooth operator.
Ugh. Anytime.
What happened to her?
She's around. She's like the McRib. Every now and then she'll come back.
I think sometimes people just get tired of all the fucking lights, like all the
flash and
attention,
the-
the bullshit.
I do that, man. I love to just chill out. Everyone thinks I'm always just like party animal, like all. I'm like, no, I'll wake up and be like, Alexa, put on some 1930s jazz.
Ooh.
And I'll just,
Alexa will do that.
oh yeah, Alexa,
1930s jazz.
Very specific. Yeah.
What is? Will Siri do that? Bitch?
Huh?
Will Siri do that?
Yeah.
1930s jazz.
Oh yeah. It's just like,
gotta be a playlist out there somewhere.
yeah.
Hey Siri, play some 1930s jazz. Here we go. Here's some 1930s jazz.
Worship the devil. Oh my God, Siri. That's not nice. That's not. No. That's what Tom Hanks' son listens to.
Is that
That's-
is that 1930s
no,
jazz?
definitely not.
No, that's definitely some steel
Hey
drum.
Siri, you don't know what the fuck 1930s jazz is, do you?
Oh,
she's
see,
fucking with me.
but it does work.
Okay. Hey Siri, play some John Coltrane. Here we go.
If it's the same song, yeah.
There you go.
That's 1930s jazz. That's legit. That's legit.
Put my
That's-
dimmer down, light an incense. Oh, it's the best.
Light that lighter, get that spoon out, prepare the heroin.
Black tar, only the best,
Is that the best?
allegedly.
Have you ever tried heroin?
No.
Whoa.
I don't know why I yelled at you. God.
You got
No, I
angry
have
there.
not tried heroin.
Have you tried cocaine?
Yes,
How dare you?
I have.
You getting coked up?
Am
out there
I
on the streets?
Yeah.
Coked up, running
I don't
around
do it.
like
I
a
can't
maniac?
do it anymore.
How come? What happened?
Because you don't know what that shit's cut with anymore.
That's true.
And I saw some video and they're like, "They'll do it one more time and it'll kill you."
Fentanyl.
I'm like, nope.
Fentanyl. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I had a guy in here. What was the guy's name? Ben. Was it Ben Westhoff, the writer who wrote that book on fentanyl? He used to be he was a journalist. He used to write for L.A. Weekly. Ben Westhoff.
Fentanyl Inc.
Yes, Fentanyl Inc. And he said they were reviewing all these raves where people were dying, and like they're dying from MDMA, and like it's like it didn't make any sense. So they did some tests, and they found out it's not really fentanyl, or it's not really MDMA they're dying from. It's MDMA cut with fentanyl.
Yeah, and plus they're not hydrating themselves because that you sweat because those people
That's
will
not
just
what it is,
they'll
though.
just rave until their heart explodes.
There's probably some of that too.
Yeah.
There's probably a few of those, but a lot of it is just overdoses of fentanyl because they're cutting it. You know, it's
I don't
like
trust drugs anymore.
that's why drugs should be legal. You know, that's one of the Mayor Pete things. He had this weird conversation with one of the journalists where he was talking about decriminalizing drugs. And the guy was like, so you would say heroin would be legal? And he goes, no, it wouldn't be legal. He goes, well, that's what decriminalizing is. Like, this is weird conversation where they're trying to work out the legal logistics of what's decriminalized and what's not. But it sounds totally counterproductive that if you wanted to have a healthy, happy society, you'd make cocaine and heroin legal.
Right.
But the problem is if it's not legal, then people are going to get it anyway, and they're going to get it from the fucking cartels, and they're
Yeah.
going to get it, and it's going to be spiked. I don't want anybody to do heroin. I don't want anybody to do coke. I don't want anybody to do any of those drugs. But the only way you're going to give them pure versions of that drug is to make sure that it's actually from a reputable source.
Mm-hmm.
Reputable.
Yeah.
Why did I say reputable? It's a weird way of saying it, right?
Tomato.
No.
I've done-
reputable?
I've done
Who
ice.
says reputable?
That
It's
was
like
weird.
people that say nuclear.
Nuclear?
Nuclear. Instead of nuclear? Nuclear.
I've done ice. That was one thing.
What is
that
ice?
I've done. I think it's meth.
Yeah, how was that? Good times?
Awful.
How long did you stay awake?
Oh, all night. I was shit. I was like, I think I was 22, and like a friend of mine at the time, I guess, was like, "Hey, we're gonna smoke this out of a light bulb." I'm like,
Oh, Jesus
"Fuck,
Christ.
yeah!" I don't know why.
How do you smoke it out of a light bulb?
It's like the end of it was cut off, and you just light it underneath. It's like
How would one cut a light bulb?
I don't fucking know. Oh man, I did that, and I just remember going to a bar and just talking the fucking bartender's ear off, just nonstop. I remember going home, and then I remember it being like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, you know what sounds good? I'm gonna move all my furniture around. It was just like my neighbors were probably like, you fucking asshole. And then I remember going to bed finally at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was the worst feeling I've ever experienced in my life. Like my body just felt
broken,
rotted.
Oh, rotted.
Like, just corroded.
Well, that energy's coming out of somewhere.
Well, because
You gotta pay the price.
once you do it, you're addicted. So it was like,
really?
it was like right when it ended is when my body was like, you need more. You're going through withdrawals. So
Really?
I went
One
through
time?
One time. It's all it takes.
Really?
And then I literally sat in my room and just shook it all out and sweated. And I remember making a vow to myself. I was like, I am never doing this again. And then finally it was like, someone asked me, they're like, have you ever, I was like, yeah, I've never done meth. I mean, I've done ice. And they're like, that's what that is, you dumb fuck. And I was like, oh man. I mean, it was not pleasant. And you see how quickly people can become addicted to that
One
stuff.
time
One
you're
time.
addicted.
All it takes.
Wow. So at the end of it, you're like, oh my God, I'm so wrecked. I just need a little to get me over. And then next thing you know, you're doing a little all the time. That's the same shit
Exactly.
with Adderall, by the way.
Yeah.
That's what Adderall is.
Yeah.
It's just a very slow release.
I think that's what Xanax is. I think that's what Vicodin is.
Well,
You don't
those
think
are different kinds of drugs. They're not amphetamines.
Well, right.
The amphetamines are a real issue for people that seek productivity.
Yeah.
Right. That's why you're trying to clean your house and organize and stuff.
It's just like, yeah. Oh man, that was brutal.
That's what happens with housewives. They want to
The Real Housewives of-
no, real ones, real actual housewives.
Actual housewives.
They want to organize. L.A. housewives that take a fucking Adderall, just
And
start
put it in a smoothie.
putting all their books on the shelves in alphabetical order and that kind of shit.
Just listen to a podcast. Calm down.
No.
Just put your podcast on.
Do both. Do both at the same time with a butt plug in. They want to multitask.
So specific.
Yeah, they want to multitask.
Get the old butt wrecker. That's a good brand.
A buddy of mine who used to date a girl that liked to do speed, he said they're the best girls to have anal sex with because they never eat, so they never shit. And I was like, I didn't need to know that.
And that is honesty.
He's like,
she
dude,
never eats.
There's nothing going on down there.
Because there's nothing worse than getting an oil slick.
Woo!
Yeah. That's
boo, boo, boo.
not fun.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, that's when it's over. There's no coming back from that.
Some people can come back from it.
No.
Some people on ice.
Yeah.
They're on the ice. They don't give a fuck. I like the smell, you dirty son of a bitch. Yeah.
Who's my dipstick?
Yeah. Woo. Yeah.
God.
Yeah, you
No.
have to plan that, right?
You do.
You have to do it correctly. You have to time your food intake and make sure you don't drink too much coffee. Mm-hmm. It's a lot going on there.
It's a lot going on. But
Yeah.
if you find the one, you can do it right.
The one. That's the one area where the good Lord has done a disservice to gay folks. They haven't given them a lot of options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
It's good not to.
I can't.
Seems
I
like
don't
it's-
trust my butt.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I
I
would-
don't. It's like
You shouldn't.
It's like I don't trust my butt. I do not trust my. I don't want anything in there.
Good move.
I don't want. I feel like it's like I feel like there's an octopus beak that comes out and it'll just snap. I feel like it's the Sarlacc pit that Boba Fett fell into in Star Wars. I don't trust my butt. I don't. If you try to put anything in there, I'm just like, yeah,
Yikes.
just
Clamp.
Nope.
Just do a lot of squats. That way nobody will want to. It's just too tight.
Just
Deadlifts.
But that's kind of hot though. Big legs are hot.
Yeah, but not too big. Like if your butt is so tight that like literally it clamps down. You know, like people get sleep apnea, like football players do, because their neck is so big, it like
They can't.
cuts
they can't.
off.
Oh, that's
cuts off the
awful.
air pipe.
That's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. There's so much muscle in their neck that when they lay back, like they choke to death. Like football players would choke to death falling asleep from sleep
Jesus.
apnea, just from giant necks. You can do that with your butthole.
That makes sense.
But then dudes with little dicks would seek you out. Like, aha,
Behold.
I found a place where it can be tight.
Oh God.
Dun, dun,
There's
dun.
nothing worse than a small dick.
Nothing
Just
worse?
saying. Well, yeah, but
But that's a weird thing if you okay. So like gay guys, even though
Here we
you
go.
don't want it in your butt, you still want a big one.
yeah,
Right. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. I do get it.
it's like,
Genetics.
do you want small tits?
I don't mind.
See, I don't mind either, but I think a lot of people in the I mean, well, wait, hold
The
on.
straight community.
In the straight, a lot of people in the
Let me
straight
speak
community,
for the straight community.
They'll take whatever they
Let me-
can.
Let me speak for my people.
Uh-huh. Go for it.
What they like is butts.
Roll
Girls
on.
with big butts.
Yes.
Girls
Why is
with,
that?
It's because it's genes. It's like the genes are signaling that this is a healthy woman who will give birth easily.
Oh, it's the old medieval hip trick.
It's all.
Like she can.
It is all
She will
tricks.
labor many moon children and
Like
shit.
Why does someone want someone with perfect features? Was because you want someone with great genetics. Like there's a bunch of things that are favored, right? Like height, tall men are favored, strong men are favored. Genetics, big dicks, You want-
Mating.
yeah, that's all it is. It's all like genes.
But, like,
It's
if you
your
see,
animal genes,
If you see like a Kendall Jenner who's
right?
not like her sisters, she is
I wonder
not
what happened.
because she wants to model. So
Right,
she
so what'd she
can't
do?
she can't have she can't fill her ass up with like silicone and shit.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like facial surgery. Is that Kylie or Kendall? Which one had her?
Oh my God, let's play a game called Name the Kardashian with Joe Rogan.
I don't know which one.
Kendall's
which one's
the model.
one?
Kendall's the youngest. Like there's Kylie and Kendall. Those are
Which one had her face changed?
Kylie.
Okay, so this is the other
I
one.
mean, which one? But
They all did, right?
Kylie did. But Kendall's the one who kind of kept herself normal. Not normal. I don't want to say that.
she didn't
but
fill her butt up with.
she didn't fill her butt up.
plastic.
She's a model. She's doing Fashion Week. She's yeah. That's okay. So the one, oh my God, I can't.
Which
believe
one's
this happened.
which?
Kendall's on the left. Kylie's on the right.
Okay.
So see how
So the
Kendall's
one on
a
the
little,
left is
yeah.
natural, and the one on the right
Well,
is the one she had her face fixed.
Yeah. So Kylie's like the billionaire who's selling makeup and tits and ass, and
Look at those fake boobs.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
But Kendall, I mean,
So Kendall has real ones.
Kendall has. I mean,
Those are normal.
those are normal.
The ones next to it, those are balloons.
So which one's more attractive to you?
Depends on how horny you are and how drunk you are.
Interesting.
And who's interested.
That is a good factor. Whoever's
Who's interested?
yeah.
Who's
I've
going to
been
be
horny
enthusiastic?
and I've been drunk.
I bet you have.
Yeah.
I bet both at the same time, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well-
At the store too. I've done it. I've tried it. I've tried it.
Jeans?
Pick them out of the audience. Just
I like you. Jeans are strange, man.
they are weird, huh?
What attracts people to others? I mean, there's a lot of factors, right? Like mean people are very unattractive.
Right.
Boring people are very unattractive.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid people are very unattractive. There's a lot of factors, but then it gets down to like animal stuff, like shapes of bodies, size of hogs, right? Right?
Size of hogs.
The size of the hog.
I think they're at Coachella this year.
Oh, that's the name of the band?
Size of hogs.
I get it. I thought it was like a
Well, I think
Improv troupe.
I think everybody, and that's always been fascinating to me, is when you see like the study of the law of attraction, where it's like you see something you like, how your pupils dilate, and how you kind of like pheromones and weird shit. I got a cologne. God, I can't remember what it was called.
So that's who buys cologne.
Huh?
Gay guys.
What
I was
about it?
wondering. Like, who the fuck's buying cologne?
Me. I love
How many
cologne.
different colognes do you have in your house?
I probably have about like 10.
Whoa. Oh,
Yeah.
you're a connoisseur.
Yeah.
Do you have like different, like, tonight is the night?
Yeah.
Do you like,
I pull it out of the vault.
No, not this one.
No, well, I signed up for Scentbird, which
Scentbird.
Scentbird is the cologne. They send you a different cologne every month. It's a cologne club.
It's like Dollar Shave Club,
It's
but
like
for cologne.
It's like $14.95. You get a little vial of cologne.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, I've been with them for 2-3 years. Scentbird.
Oh my God.
But I do it every year. I'll have my January through my December smells.
You have different
This has been
smells for
fun.
different times.
Get the fuck out. Okay, well, that's a wrap.
You have different smells for different times of the year?
Yeah, I got my spring, I got my summer, I got my fall, and I got a little spicy at the end of the year.
Oh, so you get
winter.
spicy towards the fall and the winter
Yeah,
time?
yeah.
Like what, like a pumpkin-y, sort
Not
of a
pumpkin,
cinnamon?
no, just like
paprika.
a nice Dolce & Gabbana, a little bit of
Dolce
Rag
&
and
Gabbana.
Bone, a little
Oh.
bit of, yeah. And they have them all on there. And they're nice.
Okay.
I've always smelled good.
wondering. Okay.
People are like, damn, you smell good. I'm like, fuck yeah, you're right.
Do you put like a tiny bit?
Tiny bit.
Just a touch.
Just, that's it.
But you have 10.
Yeah.
So, and they keep sending you more. Mm-hmm. Are you worried you're going to run out of space? People going to come over
'cause
your house
usually-
like,
well,
oh my God, Justin's insane.
Oh,
Like,
God.
his fucking house is filled with cologne.
He's wallowing in his own filth. No, I have. Usually, I'll use for the month. I'll use that as my month, and then if I don't use them, I'll save them.
Oh,
But
you
there is
save them.
there is a cologne that I had. It was called Sexual.
Sexual?
Sexual.
Is that even a word, or is that just some asshole?
It's some asshole, but
So,
let's just
like,
go with it.
pretending this is how you say it, like when people would say in Spanish, can you tell me where is the restauranto?
Oh, yeah.
Sexual.
Sexual. But it had pheromones in it.
Oh, sure it did.
So it had pheromones in it, and every time I would wear it, women would be like, hey, you smell good.
because they probably took some fat guy and made him run on a treadmill, and then they dripped his fucking underwear into each bottle.
Just ode to Bert Kreischer.
Yes, there he is. I didn't call you Fat Bert. Justin
No,
Martindale
he
did.
does it all the time. I don't
himself
think he's
fat?
fat. No, he's
definitely
thick.
fat.
He's thick with two C's.
No, if you just Google Bert is
Nope.
fat, you'll find
I know, but that's mean. He's thick.
Tom and Bert, they call each other fat.
The bear
they fat
cave.
shamed each other.
What is it?
Yeah,
they
two
call it
bears, one cave.
Two bears.
Yeah.
That's
They
a
fat-shamed-
gay term.
Tell them. You should tell them that.
They should know.
They probably
because
don't know.
they named
They'd probably
it
be stunned and have to change
Two
their
bears, one
podcast.
cave. They're
Yeah.
both bears. In the gay community, those are
they know.
bears.
I think
So they
they
didn't
know.
get the joke? They didn't get the reference?
I think they know.
They should know.
Are they technically bears? Or don't
Yeah.
you have to be kind of a little buff to be a bear?
No.
No?
No.
Just hairy
Yeah.
and fat?
I don't know what you are.
What am I?
You're not a bear and you're
Chimp.
not Huh?
A chimp?
No. Yeah, what is Joe Rogan in the gay community? I think that's why I don't have a thing either.
Good. Congratulations.
I used to be a twink and now I'm not. And now I'm
What
not
changed?
hairy.
What changed?
I grew up, Joe.
Yeah,
I grew
became
up.
mature.
I filled
That's
out.
an issue with gay folks, right? As you get older.
Yeah.
See, older guys that are straight can get hoes.
Oh, absolutely.
Gold diggers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a good old hoe.
I know some dudes who are just really old, and they have young, hot girlfriends or wives.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hilarious because they got that cheddar.
Yeah.
They got that cheddar.
But then,
That doesn't work with guys, does it?
yeah,
It does for twinks, right?
it does for young gays.
The young gays.
There's definitely some where I've been like, this guy's like 85 years old. And it's like,
It's a 19-year-old.
oh, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
But that's okay in the gay community, whereas that's disgusting in the straight community. If you see an 80-year-old guy with an 18-year-old girl, you want to beat him to death. You piece of shit. But if you see an 80-year-old gay guy with an 18-year-old boy, like, oh, he found himself a fella.
Yeah. But
It's okay.
you also can look and be like, that'll do, pig.
But you know what
That'll
also? The other way. If you find an 80-year-old lady and she's
Yeah.
got a 24-year-old boyfriend, you're
Fuck
like,
yeah.
you go, girl.
Go, bitch.
You go. Mm-hmm. Good for her.
Good for her.
Nobody's mad at her.
Yeah.
If anything, you're mad at the guy for like playing that old lady and getting her to buy you a Corvette.
See, that's how I feel about Britney Spears right now.
Really? Yeah. What's going on with her?
She's kind of going through a thing.
What is her thing?
She's just, she's in a what's it called? A conservatorship? I don't know.
Conservatorship?
Like her dad's in charge of her and she's like almost 40.
Right.
And
an
she's,
issue?
yeah, she's got like mental shit going on. If you look at her Instagram, she's just walking down, just flipping her hair.
Let's go to her Instagram.
Oh, Jesus. Here we
Please.
go. Brittany, I love you.
Came up a week ago. I thought you were
yes.
getting to this, but
Oh,
Wait, what?
I've heard like we didn't get there, but I knew this was.
When I was having a conversation with Bill Maher, because
Yeah.
He talked about this?
well, I said she's hot, and Bill Maher said, "What? What are you talking about?" And then my wife gave me a ton of shit for saying that Britney Spears is hot. She's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? She's not hot."
She's, there's a whole thing saying, hashtag save Britney because they just feel like she's not in control of anything in her life anymore. Like her dad owns everything. She can't drive. She can't do.
Right, but don't you think there's a reason for that? If
Well,
she
yeah,
was in
I mean-
control, she
Yeah.
does look cracked out.
Yeah. But she has like this hot
Wait,
24-year-old.
who put that photo up?
She did.
Let me see that photo.
Well, somebody
It's her
did.
page.
Oh my God. it was so-
Go large with that picture. Bro, look at those. She looks completely insane.
Mm-hmm.
How was she taking her pants off?
Yeah.
She's got tattoos right next to her pussy.
Well, I mean, who doesn't?
Me.
Can't wait for spring.
Can't wait for spring. What? That's her. That's her caption.
All the emojis.
Do you think
All
that's
of the
her?
emojis.
Yeah, every emoji. She's got a shoe, an eggplant, and look at that one there. What's going on with this one?
Yeah, just play it.
2020. I will be doing a lot more acro
Listen.
yoga. Let me hear this, please.
To open up my back and my chest, and I'm out here with my dogs, and we're gonna have a beautiful day.
Oh, you just killed my fantasies.
Yeah.
She looks like a 70-year-old lady.
My babies.
What? What is this? What's going on? This is
doing
acro yoga.
She just does that. She'll
she looks crazy
She'll
now,
walk
huh?
through her house and she does these little fashion shows where she'll put on like her outfits and just spin around and you're just kind of like, what? And now
Doesn't she do
See,
a
look at her.
residency in Vegas?
no, she did.
What is she doing now?
She canceled her residency like days before it was supposed to open. I have friends of mine who were supposed to dance in her second residency that she was
Yeah.
doing. Days before they canceled it because that was the whole thing. Like her dad said no. Apparently, like her dad even slapped one of her kids in front. Like it was
What?
really fucked up.
Do you know
Yeah.
this is true, or you just
No,
making
no. This is all real. It's out there.
accusations?
No.
Oh, it's out there.
No,
As long as
it's
it's
out
out there.
there. It's
As long
out
as
there. It's
out there.
real.
Oh, it's real.
Yeah.
She does look kooky for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah. And so now, everyone wants her to everyone's rooting for her and everything. And it's just.
Everyone.
They are. We're rooting for Britney Spears.
What's going on here? She's in Hawaii. It's my birthday, bitches. How old is she?
She's probably 37, 38.
Okay, she's bowling. What happened to her butt? Where'd it go? Look at that. She's going to bowl a strike. Yay.
I know. It's so
Not
sad.
quite.
But where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. She has this hot 24-year-old
Good for her.
boyfriend.
Good. I hope she buys him a car.
Is that him? Yeah, look at this guy.
Let me see.
He's a moose.
It's a handsome fella.
He's an elk.
What's going on around his neck? Is that a neck pillow for an airplane? Does he just wear that everywhere?
Probably.
You
have to take
he gets
precautions.
sleepy.
Yeah.
If he gets
So
sleepy,
he doesn't have sleep
he
apnea.
leans his head on that fucking neck pillow.
God, and that tree, come on.
She does look like she's out of her fucking mind.
Yeah.
So Bill Maher was right. I'm sorry, Bill.
Yeah.
That one where she's doing the aqua yoga, that was sad.
Yeah,
That's sad.
There's a lot of them where you're just
seems
like,
crazy.
I know. I mean, yeah, it's just a lot of head flips, and then
Yeah, well, she's probably insane. I mean,
Well,
wasn't she like 16 when she made it?
I mean, that's the story
That
of
is?
Hollywood. You know, it's
Yes.
like you start out at like 6, pump you full of pills, and then
You know who's all right, kind of, sort of?
who?
Macaulay Culkin.
He's on the cover of what's it called? This in March, Vanity Fair. They just released it this morning.
Esquire.
He looks good.
GQ.
Something like that.
Sports
Look it
Illustrated.
up. He's doing well.
Bears and Caves.
Bears and Caves.
He's in here. And
Bone alone.
We had a real good conversation. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed his company. He's a nice guy. And he realizes Macaulay Culkin is not like you. The 39-year-old
Yeah, Esquire. That's what it is. Esquire.
Call
He's
him
Esquire's March 2020 cover boy.
has been
Cover
liberated
boy?
longer than it. He's an interesting guy. He really is.
I bet he
He's
is.
he's gone. He knows he's gone through something that you're not supposed to go through. Like he knows that he did something you're not supposed to do. He developed as a human being.
really young.
In a gigantic population of people. Like everyone knew who he was.
Oh, yeah.
He's hugely famous when he was a little boy, and that's not good for anybody.
Well, and people would see him on the streets and be like, "Do the thing, do the thing." I'm sure he still gets that.
And you can't say no; they get fucking mad at you. They want to kick you.
Yeah.
But Britney Spears, man, like she was.
I know.
When did she make it? How old was she?
She made it
She was in
in
her
1999
teens.
was her first
She was
hit.
also on that Mickey Mouse Club
She
before
was in the
that,
Mickey
so
Mouse
she's
Club
like,
with Justin Timberlake and
Double
JC
fucked.
Chazé.
She's double, triple fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's fucked. She looks crazy. She's probably pilled up. They probably got her on
Well,
all kinds of stuff.
She had a show with her husband at the time called Chaotic with Kevin Federline, and they followed her around, and she was like yacked out of her mind.
He's one of those gold diggers on the male side. We only have two. Him and Tom Arnold. They're the only ones that made it. We got two up on the board. There are so many women who have made so much money
I
off
know.
men and divorces, and
Yeah.
only two men that I know of that have really scored and scored well. Who else? Someone else?
Yes. Anna Nicole Smith's
Oh,
ex.
really?
I think so, yeah.
Kevin Federline's all fat now. He's got a giant belly.
Yeah.
Just takes care of the kids. He's got custody too, which is not a good sign. You know, when the ex has custody and it's a guy, that usually means you're a fuck up
Yeah.
or you've got some issues mentally,
So it's like, I mean, that's what happens.
or you don't like kids.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, bro, you can have them.
That's what
And
happens.
here's a Ferrari.
It happened to Whitney Houston, happened to Michael Jackson, happened to Prince, happened to Amy
Well,
Winehouse.
Michael
happened
Jackson, those are not his kids.
Oh, no.
Yeah. What do you mean? Oh, you mean going crazy?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's
Yeah.
like you go down that route. You start taking
Yeah.
fentanyl.
Well, I don't think anybody's supposed to be famous. And I think being famous is probably one of the weirder fucking things that could happen to a human being. And I think that as it's happening to you, your reality distorts in a way that you don't have normal interactions anymore. And so then your foundation of who you are as a person deteriorates. Now, if you grow up that way, it's even stranger because then your foundation never existed. You never had a foundation. You were always in this weird, strange world, and then oftentimes it goes away. Like, remember when Gary Coleman was a security guard and people would show up at his job and mock him? He was just trying to get enough money to eat.
Well, it's like
Literally. I mean, when you're working as a security guard, you're getting, what, $15 an hour if you're lucky? You're just trying to eat. That's all you're trying to do.
Or it's like that guy from Trader Joe's who was on like the Cosby Show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's wrong with a guy
Yeah.
trying to make a living?
Yeah, and they're like, look how gross he is. It's like,
No, do you do that to everybody that's at the fucking Trader Joe's? No, you say hi. You say hi, they bag your groceries, and it's fine. But it's almost worse to have been someone and then not be someone than it is to have never. No, it is worse in people's eyes. But it's that same thing. It's like when people look at you when you're on television and go like, oh, fuck him. You know, like what they were saying, like when people take shots at you. Like, fuck him. He's on TV. I'll fucking take shots at him. But then when you're not anymore and then you have a regular job, then it's like they have an extra desire to shit on
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Those same kind of
it's
people.
power.
Yes.
It's
now,
gross.
Now they're doing better
Visceral
than you.
power, yeah.
Yeah, they're doing better than you. I
Yeah.
got my own house. Look
Yeah.
at you, you fucking loser in
I've
your
got
apartment.
an ATM card.
I got everything.
Yeah.
You ain't got shit. You used to be on TV. That went away.
I bought a round of drinks.
I had a guy shit on me once. He was working at behind
Wait,
the
what?
counter at
Oh.
not really. Behind the counter at a CVS, and I couldn't figure out what he was trying to do but he's being rude to me at a CVS. He's like, he goes, hey, you're that guy from that show. I go, yep. He goes, what happened to that show, huh? And I'm like, what, Fear Factor? I go, what do you think happened? He goes, I don't know. You tell me. What happened to that show? He's like mean to me. I go, it got canceled. He's like, yeah. I'm like, bro, you work at fucking CVS.
Yeah.
Like,
Relax.
what are you doing?
This is Fear Factor.
Yeah, and I didn't go after him. I was like, this is so ridiculous. I was like, he was lucky I was high. I was like, this is so weird. Because he was literally trying to insult me, you know, not realizing that I had done things since, and I'm okay. But to him, I'm not on TV anymore, so I must be a fucking loser. So he's trying to make me feel bad. What happened to that show? What happened? What happened?
I wish I could tell you.
But it was like a weird, I didn't do anything to you, man. I just came here to buy gum or whatever the fuck I'm buying.
Yeah, can I have my mile-long receipt? Shut up already.
Why are you being weird with me? But he was just a dick, a behind-the-counter dick.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you used to be on TV, not anymore, huh?
BTCD.
Behind-the-counter dick. Do. People are weird with people that are successful. You know, that there's a thing where they don't look... In general, people don't look to people that are doing well as inspiration. They look at them with envy. It's like a natural human instinct.
And it's that attack, and that's where we're at now with like cancel culture and stuff. It's like, oh, we want to see somebody stumble or fall because if we do, we can drag them down. And then we'll get, you know, and if we see that, and if we post it, then we'll get all the likes and the favorites and the retweets. Look what I found. Look what I did. Look what I discovered. Yeah.
Fuck him. Yeah, fuck him. Yeah. But they don't realize all that shit's going to come back around to get them. It's going to come back and bite them in the ass.
El Camino with a side of jalapenos.
It feels bad. It just feels bad even when you're doing it. You think you're going to, like if you say mean shit to people that you don't even know, like that can't feel good. It seems like it would feel good. But it doesn't feel good. It's going to come back around on you.
Yeah.
It's a weird way, you know, giving people the access to things like social media. It's a weird way to communicate, and it's not natural. And so many people use it and abuse it.
So many kids use it and abuse it.
Oh, my God.
And that's what's terrifying.
All those people being mean to you on your Instagram, if you could find out what the median age and who these people are and what their life was like, you'd probably be like, oh, well, I'm going to feel bad.
Yeah.
You're fucking 12.
Yeah, where are your parents?
And you're a 50-year-old loser. And, you know, where are your parents?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do your parents even know you have an Instagram account, you little fuck?
I mean, I've had instances where, you know, when we started the show on Snapchat, because Snapchat, I guess, used to be like for nudes.
12-year-olds.
But like,
Really?
you see it one time and then
Oh, to go away.
it would go away.
Right.
So you could be like, here's my dick. And you're like, oh, and then it goes away.
But it doesn't go away. You just screenshot it.
Well, but there was some times where it was like, you know, I had to like call and be like, hey, no. I had like a girl who had a dildo and was like using it on herself. And
You had to call them and say, don't
No,
let
I
that
had to
happen?
call like whoever was in charge of the show. I was like, hey, like, because it was Snapchat had just come out and I didn't know
Right.
what the hell. I'm like, I'm not the demographic of Snapchat, but I was just kind of like, I felt bad because I was like, clearly the girl didn't know.
She was,
Yeah, I was like,
how did she not know?
well, I don't know. It was
Maybe
just,
she did know.
I
That's how
don't-
she drums
yeah.
up customers.
But it was just, I mean, it was fucking disturbing.
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
She going hard in the paint?
Oh. Yeah, but it was just like, oh, like, where's your parents?
Where-
Like, why?
how old was she?
Oh,
50? Where's your parents? They're dead.
yeah.
I'm
And this
trying to
urn
kill
on top
myself.
of my mantle.
Trying to kill myself with this beer bottle.
She was young.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people are bad parents, bro. They do a terrible job. Do you ever think you'd adopt kids?
No.
Good for you. Look at you. I like how quick you
God,
answered.
no.
No.
It's not my thing.
Not even a cat, right?
No. I'd have a cat.
Maybe a cat.
No kids for me, though.
Because you could leave town for a weekend with a cat, just leave a lot of water and a lot of food.
It's got 9 lives, yeah.
I don't think they really do.
No, they don't.
They're just flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can store on that body fat, you know. Get a big fat cat.
So where are you doing this this tour, and where can people find out about it if they want to come see you?
Actually, I'm doing a tour with Jim Jeffries.
Ah.
So I'm doing his Oblivious tour. So you check the dates.
I just did a
the
thing at
Australia Fire
yes.
Relief. Yeah. We actually
Yeah.
just came back from Houston and New Orleans, and he had to go do that show.
Oh, really?
It was one downtown. It was like when Kobe died.
Yes,
The day of.
Yeah,
We were really bummed about that.
it was really weird.
We
to
actually
do.
took off in the plane, and we all got our CNN notifications, and we all just sat there like, oh shit, like what?
Yeah,
It was pretty brutal.
I found out about it from Bert. Bert, we have a group text going on. Mm-hmm. Bert told me.
It was pretty gnarly. It was like, and I just remember him being like, "Oh man, I gotta get the fuck downtown. It's gonna be crazy." And it's like, yeah,
It was.
yeah,
It was
So,
crazy.
I'm doing that with him all year, and then I got this show coming out on E in March. It's called the Funny Dance Show now.
That's the dance-off thing.
Yeah. Comics dancing off for $10,000 for a charity of their choice, and I'm the judge. Lonnie Love is on as a judge, and Allison Holker, who is a dancer. So.
And they pick the song. They have
yeah.
to practice. Are they practicing?
They have to practice for like a week.
Oh Christ!
And then, so we got like
Like
Ron
Dancing with the
Funches
Star.
on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love Ron.
We got like Ron Funches. We've
Ron
got
Funch is the most positive comedian
I know.
available
Isn't
today.
it nauseating?
He's great. He's he's like cultivating being nice
I
and
know.
being positive, and
I know.
I really appreciate it.
I did his podcast that he does, and it just felt like the warmest hug afterwards. I was like,
Yes.
oh, I needed this in my soul.
That's what he's like.
I know. He's genuinely
so
like
nice.
that. Yeah.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, we've got-
and like cultivates it.
Yeah. We have Fortune, Brad Williams.
I love
mean,
Fortune.
it's a cool like.
I love Brad Williams too, but I mean,
Yeah.
I just had to say I love Fortune.
Yeah, she's great.
I don't want to leave Brad out.
Wow. I love Brad. I mean, it's going to be really, really fun. And then,
Nice.
I mean, you could find me on Instagram at Justin Martindale.
Beautiful.
Easy.
All right, bitch.
Don't find me on Twitter
Let's wrap
because
this
I'll
motherfucker
block
up.
you. Yeah, let's do it.
Are you blocking people as well?
No, I need to start though.
Should be.
Eh,
Why don't you just mute them?
I know.
Why don't you just talking to the void?
That is fun. Just scream. Scream into the vortex.
Why are you ignoring me?
I'll see you in hell. The best thing to say to someone.
Yeah. All right, buddy.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, my brother.
Pleasure
I'll see
as
you
always.
soon.
Yes,
Are you
of
at the store
course.
this week?
No, I'll be in Vegas.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Are you gonna gamble your life away?
Probably.
Okay. JustinMartindale.com. Justin Martindale on Twitter, Instagram.
Just
all that
Martindale
jazz.
on Twitter. Just Martindale.
Just
Justin
Martindale.
Martindale on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks,
Thanks,
brother.
buddy.
That was fun.
You got it.
Yay. Bye, everybody.